Tolu Smith here. Make sure y'all subscribe to my boy Downtown Deuce ASAP. Come on, man.
All the dirty work, all dog. I'ma dive on the floor, go try to block every shot, and I'ma be physical with you the whole game. You know Stu gonna be physical with you. When you think of the Pistons, you think it's just hard work and just gritty basketball. That's just the identity you gotta have when you put on that jersey.
I'm not your average breed of King 9. Not a good dog, I'm bad boy for life. I set the tone, don't care about no tick. Let it be known, I get my respect. Come in the lane and see I don't bluff. If you retaliate, that's on ya. Talking pundits, I hear your shade. Talking that shop, you must run this way. I'm tryna tell ya, put the dog palm, mess around, find out, put the dog palm, mess around, find out, For some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. When you're real for some barbecue sauce, boy, you better crop a hill, cause I'm like that. Mess around, find out.
What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Downtown Deuce Show. Yes, we are back with the Piston post-game recaps. As you guys can all see, I'm joined by the lovely Sarah Boss. Sarah, how we feeling?
I feel amazing. Thanks for having me. What a great way to start off the 25-26 season. I feel great right now.
Man, unofficial win, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So, for those who missed the announcement last week, Sarah will be officially joining me post-game this season for post-game recaps. She is going to be bringing her perspective and her takes on the games as we embark on another year of Pistons basketball. And we are really excited to have her on the squad. So everybody show her some love in the comments, drop some fire emojis, drop some bosses in the chat for Sarah. Anything you want to say, Sarah, the Pistons fans out there before we kick off game one?
I mean, we have the greatest fan base ever. And I know that this season, the team last year, they emphasized how great our fans were, and we're only getting bigger and better. And I'm just so excited. So I definitely want to hear all your takes, throw some comments up there. We want to know how you guys felt about the first preseason game too, the first look at our squad. Absolutely.
And I see y'all are deep in the chat already with the comments. So as expected after a good win, right? Y'all usually show up and show out as you guys always do. So I see you guys in the chat. Carl, what's going on, my brother? By the way, for anybody who does not know, Carl Collins is the production behind everything that I do with my Pistons music. The opening anthem, you guys saw that as Carl. And we are working on something new for you guys this year. So stay tuned for that. Carl is a beast at what he does. I call him the Steven Spielberg of the sports games. He gets it done for sure. All right. So like I mentioned, guys, we are back. We are officially in full swing. Pistons basketball is so back. And I just want to say that I'm looking forward to breaking down the season with all of you guys. We just crossed 8,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I want to say thank you to everybody who has been with me shooting in the gym. Y'all have been down in the trenches with me. So I truly appreciate you guys. Let's get to 10K by the end of the year. Let's do it. So I'll be hosting a giveaway once we hit 10K. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button for a chance to win. All right. Of course, now, before we even get into it, Sarah, we got a caution. This is just preseason.
Yep.
It's just preseason play. So we can't overreact either way, right? First half, we can't overreact. Second half, we can't overreact. But we talked about it before. A lot of these games are going to be a continuation of training camp in the sense that these guys they're all trying to get on the same page, build that chemistry, build that camaraderie, especially the new guys on this roster. But at least now they get to, after scrimmaging and playing against each other in practice, they get to play some real competition, and they did tonight. So now's the time to iron those kinks out, right? Build that chemistry, reinforce who they are, their identity, and consistently get back to what this team does best. It's all about preparation for the regular season. That's what matters when the record resets and these games mean something. So now that we got that out the way, on to tonight's game. The Pistons faced off in their first preseason action tonight against the Memphis Grizzlies, and they come out with the win, 128-112. Jalen Duren did not play tonight. He had hamstring tightness. I don't think it's anything serious. and Stu started along with Cade, Jaden, Ausar, and Tobias Harris. And the Grizzlies were without Ja Morant and Triple J. They did not suit up tonight. So, Sarah, I will let you kick it off. Before we get into the box scores and the details of this game, you guys know we do the initial thoughts first. So, Sarah, what were your initial thoughts from this game?
Well, we started it off. There was definitely, you could see that the rust was coming off. We really had to shake it off. Just being in the off season, not playing together yet. But just like you said, don't overreact. We are a team that's not. I mean, we know slow starts. We've been there. It's something that's semi-common with our team, I would say. So I didn't panic. They got it together. They finished off super strong. We saw everyone. I'm so glad that we got to see our starters. You know, when JB pulled them, 4 minutes into the game, I was like, oh, is that it? You know, but then they came back, finished off the half super strong. Then they gave it to our bench, then our deep bench, and it was great. Like you said, no overreaction either way, but
yeah,
they did what I expected them to do, and they came back and won after that rough first quarter.
Yeah, it was rough. It was rough to start. I do have a few notes here as far as my initial thoughts. I'm going to try to keep them brief so we can get into the individual box scores and all that. But let's be real, guys. First quarter, Pistons were playing. They were playing around. Straight up. They were just playing. They were just sleepwalking through the first quarter. And it was frustrating to watch. It looked like it definitely looked like the first game of preseason. I'll say that much. They just looked completely out of sync on both ends, even somewhat disinterested a little bit to start this game. Offensively, they had 6 turnovers in the first 6 minutes, right? And there's so many things that happened that were so just weird and uncharacteristic. But that's what happens when you first get back on the court. You had things like Duncan Robinson airballing. Ausar had some turnovers. Ron was shuffling his feet off the dribble. Caris had a turnover out of the pick and roll with Paul Reed. He wasn't ready for the pass. Chaz Lanier missing both free throws. A lot of things happened early in this game where it's just like, huh? But they were just completely out of sync. And it's funny because the Grizzlies were playing how the Pistons want to play early. Right? Defense to offense, creating turnovers and getting out transition. That's exactly what happened with this game to start. And the Pistons at one point didn't even have enough players on the floor. They had 4 guys in the court, I believe, and got a tech for it. So they were just a little bit discombobulated. It's how we thought they would look. Not quite to the level that we saw it, but we talked about this last week. I said, don't be surprised if during preseason they look sloppy, right? Turnovers, careless turnovers, defensive breakdowns. We talked about that, Sarah, just last week. And we got a lot of that in this game, especially early. So it's going to take some time, right? A few games for them, maybe even longer, to get comfortable with each other on the court. But even with that, though, Sarah, I'm just looking at the game. I'm like, too many turnovers in that first quarter, in that first half. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, that was the biggest issue. And I think it was an issue that, we had last season in some games that, they didn't need to happen. Here, I don't think it was necessarily, bad turnovers like we had in the regular season. It was more of let's get used to our team, regular preseason stuff. But the turnovers is what got us into that hole. Absolutely. We did great with the defense after that and the offense and stuff and getting it going. But the turnovers, big yikes. And the 4-person, that was pretty funny. JB was out there arguing, do we really have to, what if we wanted to play with 4, do we really need a tech for that, But just a little sloppy. We've seen it before, but like I said, it was ugly, but we managed through it.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of love in the chat, by the way. They were like, yeah, Sarah is the truth. And I'm glad you guys think so, because she's going to be here all season long. So you guys are going to get to hear her takes, her great takes, her perspective of what she sees. It's going to be nice. Detroit Drew says, Cade out here doing horse layups. Bro, we going to get to Cade in full. Trust me, we going to get there for sure. But definitely Kenyatta says there's going to be some hard decisions for JB. 100%. Yes, that's a good problem to have. Getting back to a few more initial thoughts. We talked about the Pistons' carelessness with the basketball early. Memphis made them pay. Memphis actually had a 20-point lead in the first quarter to end the first quarter, and they could not miss off those turnovers. And they were spotting up and knocking them down after almost every turnover. They were 7 for 7 to start the game. And go ahead.
And threes too, and outside.
Yeah,
shot. They were. I think I don't know what they made it to, but they made it to 8 or 9 threes before missing. And that's as we saw, it's not sustainable. And but that did not help over our turnovers. That did not help at all.
Shout out to my boy, Eric Vincent. Eric Vincent. By the way, Eric was featured, guys, in the All the Time Together. He was featured in the documentary. He asked a question and Cade answered it. So shout out to you, bro. You guys make sure you go follow him over at Top Title Detroit. He's got great content over there as well. He's also going to be on the Downtown Deuce show all season long with updates and just good news for us. So shout out to you, bro. Keep doing your thing, man. I'm looking forward to what you have for us tomorrow morning or later tonight with what you had and what you saw. All right. Giving back to this game, guys. We mentioned the turnovers. We mentioned the point toss turnovers. That first quarter, I'm going to stay there for a second. 42 first quarter points to the Grizzlies, to a team that's that we're trying to be a defensive team, right? You can't give up 42 points to that team without Ja Morant and without Triple J. I'm not trying to harp on it too much, but we're just looking at the things that identify us, what we're good at, and we got to make sure that those things get cleared up. And of course, it's game number one, like we said, but it's just something I have an eye on, right? You still want to build good habits going into the regular season. You can't completely disregard the mistakes and the errors that you made. So that's what made it so hard to watch for me, because I knew, and you probably knew too, that they could be playing a whole lot better than how they were playing. And it just didn't seem fully committed to the defensive end. And you could really see it. It was a lot of just gambling defensively, right? Trying to make the home run play instead of just getting the single. What I mean is like a home run being trying to play the passing lane and getting the steal instead of just getting the single, which is just playing straight up solid defense with discipline. And it's too early, too often. They were just trying to make that home run play. And most times when they would try to do that, they would gamble, not get the steal. Now the Grizzlies have an advantage. You got a numbers advantage. So got to be more disciplined. It's game one. We get it. I'm going to give them a little bit of a pass for that, but I'm hoping we're not going to see anything like that first quarter again for the rest of the preseason. And I think, after tonight's game, I think that's going to be the last time we see that.
Yeah, I agree. With especially JB, you could see in the start of the second quarter, he was just on the sideline like go, go, go. When they get to make the baskets, we don't get the fast break opportunities. Exactly. And then we're slowly bringing it up. Like you said, we just look discombobulated. Like we just look like, oh, well, what's the play plan here? So, and then we just, turnovers again, even when we did like set it up, get it right. So yeah. For sure. Organic Lindo says, you could tell at a certain point, Cade just put his foot in the ground and declared himself the best player on the floor. But you could even tell by how he was rebounding the basketball. Yeah. Like he was like, come on, man. Like you could see it. We're going to get to him for sure. To end it off with the initial thoughts that I had, as we all saw, if you watched the game, the Pistons picked it up. They woke up in the second quarter and they really didn't look back until towards the end of the game when, we had some different guys in. But everything changed when they actually just strapped up and decided to play to who they are with energy and effort and consistency. They took over the game. They were down 42-22 after one. And then in the second quarter, they scored 50 points, turning a 20-point deficit into a 10-point halftime lead by outscoring the Grizzlies 50-22 in that second quarter. So once again, if you watch the game, you understand why we were so frustrated in that first quarter, because they didn't look like the Pistons that we were accustomed to seeing. It just took them a little bit of time to kind of get going. And once they did, that was encouraging. It just shows you how much talent we have. When we want to, we can turn it on. And last year, that wasn't really a problem. JB, the second half of the year, had us playing right to our level more times than not. So I'm not really concerned about this because now we have the talent. And I think, once again, I'm sure he's going to be in their ear tonight. Like, this can't happen again, guys. It's preseason, but this can't happen again. Not like this. So I'm encouraged by how we were able to bounce back. Because it wasn't like we tried to play harder. We just didn't have enough. Like we took over the game immediately. So that was good to see. And when we did get shots up in that slow first, it was like Tobias's dunk, Isaiah Stewart, like those guys really brought it for us. So it was just a little bit of just getting the ball to them, getting the ball set up and everything. And then, the second quarter, like they said, Cade just turned it on. Everybody started clicking. I'm sure between the first quarter, JB was in their ear, Cade was in their ear, Tobias was in their ear. We've heard about how Tobias is not afraid to call anyone out. And they knew it too. They probably were like, let's just clean it up. Let's go out there. Let's do it. And they did. They really did.
Yeah, exactly. They turned it on.
Yep.
All right. So with that, Sarah, let's go ahead and jump to the box scores. And let's start with the starters. And we are going to start with our superstar point guard, Cade Cunningham. So Cade tonight, guys, finished with 20 points on the 8 for 11 shooting overall, 2 or 3 from 3, 2 or 3 from the free throw line. He had 4 assists, 2 steals. He did have 3 turnovers in 19 minutes. So I'll let you kick it off, Sarah. What were your thoughts on Cade tonight?
I mean, he showed up and showed out. That is some MVP level playing. He has the turnovers, but that was expected. It's something he's working on. The 20 points. What I do want more from Cade is more assists, but he just took care of the ball. I think he just read the floor, saw what was out there. If there was no outlet, then he took care of it. He did it himself. We saw him rebound. We saw his defense pick up. His crazy, reverse layup from the off throw from Tobias, just insane highlights. He was a walking highlight reel once he turned it on. So,
Absolutely.
Just fantastic.
Absolutely. Shout out to Tom. What's going on, Tom?
Yeah.
Number 1 Korea Pistons fan in the world. So I had to shout him out for sure. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're continuing to get the love here, Sarah. So yeah, you get used to that because we show love over here for real Pistons fans. You already know.
And I love Tom. I shout out to Tom as well. I saw Prince in here. I saw Maddie in here. I saw some
Prince. Shout out. Yep.
Fantastic. Just big fans. Involved in the game too. I know that they're just as excited. So
for sure. Shout out to everybody, man. Like all the comments, all the love. Like y'all know how we do it, man. This is gonna be a fun season. Y'all keep this coming, man. This, like I always say, I'll be talking. If it wasn't you guys, I'd be talking to my wife while she sleep about the game, and she'd be like, are we shut up already? So it's like, it's good to be to talk to you guys about it a little bit and be able to do what we do. So, all right. So my thoughts on Cade, man. You hit on a lot of things I was going to hit on. I'm going to hit on a few more. Cade Cunningham was just really good at basketball, man.
Beautiful.
Like Cade Cunningham is so good at basketball. You mentioned it. He looked like a superstar tonight. It's preseason. Sure. I get it. But the same way you guys say sometimes it's summer league, which we're going to get to later, sometimes you can still see just from a quarter or two improvements or what stands out with certain guys. And tonight, you could see with Cade. He wasn't perfect. He had some turnovers like you mentioned, but he was more in control, right? The game has slowed down more. And his jump shot looks even better.
Oh, yeah.
The shots he was knocking down, the 3-ball looks improved. I think he's going to be taking a few more threes this year as well. And he also looks bigger and stronger. He was able to absorb a lot of contact on drives and be able to finish through contact at the rim, along with also creating separation and getting the defender off of him on dribble drives when he would get to that fadeaway. So he's gotten stronger for sure. And we all know he needed to get stronger because he never gets a free throw, a call, right? A foul call.
Right. He had no open shots. He was guarded. He was guarded every time he pulled up, and he just made it work. With his step backs, getting to the paint, it's what he wanted. He just got what he wanted tonight, honestly. He
has definitely improved his game. I can see it after one preseason game. I can just already see it. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends the season as second team All-NBA. It's a long way away, but that's my prediction. Yeah. I have him second team All-NBA and maybe even a little bit further than that, but we'll see. We'll see. But yeah, Cade, who mentioned it earlier, where he just said, you know what? He put his foot in the ground and said, hey, man, why are we losing by 20 to the Grizzlies? He was like John Morant and Triple J. What are we doing? Yeah. And he just said, okay, put me in the game. I'm going to get buckets. I'm going to make sure this is not going to be something we're mad about when this game is over. So, he had the pride and said, hey, I don't care what's going on. I don't care. It's preseason game. We're playing basketball on the court, but we're playing an opponent. We're in between these lines. Let's play. And he really ignited them, really being able to get to what they want to get to. So it was good to see that from him. Cade is a superstar in the making. He's already here. And he did play 20 minutes, 20 points and all in 20 minutes. So it's like, didn't play a ton of minutes, but still was able to be productive. Yeah,
and again, he had 20 points, only 4 assists, but everyone else improved the minute he started improving. His leadership and his game rubbed off on everyone else. Like, you know what? Let's go get it.
Yeah. For sure. Y'all, man, we trying to keep up, guys, with the comments. Y'all are coming in hot, man, but we love it. Keep them coming. All right, let's move on to Jaden Ivey. So tonight, Jaden Ivey had 7 points on 2 of 5 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3, 2 from the free throw line, 3 turnovers, 1 assist in 14 minutes. So Sarah, thoughts on Jaden tonight?
All right. So he started off slow. Expected. Would have been absolutely mind-blowing. He just came out and took over. Would have been like, all right, like that. You got some superpowers with that healing, you know. What stuck out for me was his first basket. It was an Ivy miss to a Paul Reed tap in. Paul Reed was everything.
Right. He was.
And then a Duncan Robinson steal back to Ivy for a 3. Beautiful.
Right.
Beautiful. 5-point swing. Easy.
Right.
And so
exactly.
once he got that basket in, he got a little more comfortable. He didn't take off tonight, but he took better shots. I feel like he, just had a little bit more confidence after he saw that 3 go in. And it was like, okay, we're back. So
yeah, 100%. He hasn't played. No, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But what you said was correct. He looked early. He looked like he was just a little bit out of sync, and it wasn't just him. Everybody looked out of sync. Yeah. But for him, it was really understandable, right? It was a few plays early in this game where I could tell he just was not in sync. He had a couple bad fouls early. He was in foul trouble. One of them, he was going for a loose ball, trying to get a steal. Really wasn't there. Bad foul. Yeah. And then he had an offensive foul, forcing the action a little bit at the rim, right? So I could just tell, you could just see that this was his first game in 9 months.
Yep.
And go ahead.
Sorry, JB mentioned that in the media day. He straight up said, like, we know that it's going to take time for him to get back to playing 5-on-5 basketball. So and he did. He took that time, and he still is. I just think it's going to just only go up from here. And like you said, everyone else had the rust to break off, and so everyone's a little out of sync, which didn't help.
Right.
But not worried about it.
Not worried about it. I wasn't expecting too much from him in this game. It's funny because before the game, shout out to Zarek, he said the same thing, that he wasn't expecting, he wasn't going to set the bar super high for him for this game. And just from watching him, I've been watching him since his Purdue days, it looked like he was passive. It looked like he was trying not to make mistakes. It looked like he didn't want to step on anyone's toes.
Yeah.
And I mean, that makes sense because he watched this team closer than we did last year when he went out. He saw the team play well when he wasn't there. So, he probably didn't want to interrupt but it's like, we need you to interrupt because we're going to be better with you, right? Making the mistakes now to make our ceiling higher later, right? Yeah. I feel like we pretty much maxed out with what we had last year available to us, right? We could have went further in the playoffs, sure, but the way we were playing, right? For a young team, you couldn't really ask for more with the talent that was given. But now I'm okay with taking a step back temporarily to take 3 or 4 forward in the future. So we're going to need him to be aggressive. And like you mentioned, second half, he was. Even the second quarter, he was more aggressive. There was a play on the break when he caught the ball at the rim, and I think it was a fast break. He caught it on the break, and he had a defender at the rim, and the guy was not going to block his shot. He was going to have to foul him. But Jay laid it up, and it got blocked. I'm like, bro, dunk on him. Go up like Russell Westbrook style. Go up and dunk and try to dunk on his head. Either dunk, posterize him, or draw the foul, right? Yeah. But in that second quarter, he got going, right? He was looking to be more aggressive because when he's got that head of steam, he's really hard to stop. And he was able to get to the rim and finish through traffic multiple times. And I think once he saw one fall, that's what enabled him to knock down that shot from deep that you talked about. Because once you see one go fall, even if it's a free throw, just see it go through the rim, that boosts your confidence, right? Especially when you haven't played for 9 months. So I'm not concerned about him at all. It reminded me once again of Ausar last year when he was out for 8 months with the blood clot. So, it's going to take time regardless of who you are. It doesn't matter. So he just needs the same time, the same reps. And once he gets into that rhythm, he's going to be really, really good for this team.
Yeah. And I think that is a little bit of a mental game too. When you come back from an injury like that, of course, you can practice, but until you are on the court playing in a game that, matters, then you have to get over the fact that you were seriously injured. And I think that might have been a reason that his aggressiveness was a little slow. I agree with you that he was like, I'm just not going to throw this team off because, they have a rhythm without me a little bit. But I think it was also just that mental, even if it's a little bit subconscious, So, but he did once he started going, and even though he missed some were blocked, he was driving to the rim with 2 defenders down there. He was trying to get there. So.
Right. Absolutely. For sure. Yeah. So I'm not worried about him. It looks like you guys are kind of on the same page. Detroit Drew says, Ivy got to control that speed, but it's good to know that it's still there. At least he was aggressive. Exactly. A lot of people I wasn't because I already knew, but a lot of people were concerned. Is that burst still going to be there? Is that athleticism still going to be there? I think he answered that question pretty quickly tonight, right? He's got all of it pretty much there. And he's been taking care of his body. So yeah, now it's just about trusting that leg.
Yep.
And really having confidence. It's too many times I've seen guys, not saying this is the case, but I've seen guys come back too early from injury. Yeah. Say it's a leg injury, and they they put too much pressure, or they lean on their other leg because they're afraid of pushing off on the leg they hurt. And that causes another injury. And they're out again, right? Yeah. So I'm in retrospect, I'm glad that he didn't come back for the playoffs, because now there's no question whatsoever if he's healed.
Yep. That's
right.
Exactly
We know for sure.
Like with them, because he had the possibility to, and they mentioned it on media day too. Yep. And I'm really glad that he didn't, because again, that super helps. We're hearing about a bunch of players kind of speeding recoveries with Achilles calf things, and it's a little scary. I think about, like Tatum's already out there. I'm like, it's a little nerve wracking. And so I'm really glad that Ivy did have that time off, because then he also was able to just participate in the off season without straining anything. So
absolutely.
We know, like I said, we never really got the chance for him to get him a fast break, to get him from one side of the court to the other, with the Grizzlies making their shots and us just inbounding, not really having a chance to push it. So that's coming.
Agreed. We're seeing a lot of comments about Daniss Jenkins and Tolu Smith. By the way, Tolu Smith, guys, was who you saw in the opener. He gave me that shout out. So shout out to you, bro. We're going to get to you a little bit later, but I see you guys were paying attention to what was going on in the second half, the latter part of that game for sure. So we're going to get to that a little bit later. Let's move on now, Sarah, to Ausar Thompson.
All right.
Tonight he had 5 points on 2 of 5 shooting, 0 for 1 from 3, 1 for 2 from the free throw line. He had 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, stuff in the stat sheet per usual. 2 turnovers in 16 minutes. So immediate reaction to what you saw from Ausar tonight.
What I saw from Ausar was him at 80%. And I'm excited for his 100%. I think he had some hesitation with bringing the ball up, that JB's trying to get him the ball as the main ball handler in situations that Cade's out. And I think there was a little bit hesitation there. Just getting used to it, just getting his confidence. Again, not worried about it. And like you said, he hit every stat in the sheet. He got the steals, the blocks. He made big rebounds when it mattered. He tried to get to the rim as much as possible. A couple jump shots. I noticed one of his free throws. He said that he's trying to work on arcing his shot more, and one of his free throws was just flat. Yeah. And then he immediately adjusted and shot it. And so I think that's just, by the time the season starts, I think he'll have that way more down. So I like what I see from Ausar, but I know that there's more to come.
Yeah. We're gonna keep it a stack, right? About Ausar. I call him Tasmanian Thompson. Yeah. And he was up and down tonight. He was up and down. It was a roller coaster tonight, right? He'd make a nice play, then he turned it over. Make a nice play, then pick up a bad foul, right? He needs to continue to work on his discipline. Sometimes he still gets a little bit too aggressive because he's so good defensively on ball. I think he has that confidence. I can take it away every time, right? But a lot of times he gets in trouble. He gets his hand caught with his hand in a cookie jar, and he gets called for a foul. Or maybe he's getting too aggressive. He's biting on pump fakes, right? So he needs to continue to work on that discipline. And his jumper, you mentioned, it's a work in progress. It's still a work in progress. It's definitely a work in progress. He has some bad misses. A few times he didn't know if he should go off glass or if he should go straight on. It would just kind of clank like a bad miss. So he's still working through that. He's still working through it. It's something he's going to have to just continue to work on. It's going to take time. It's not his strength right now. But defensively, he made some nice plays. He had a nice help side steal under the rim, which would have been a dunk if he wasn't there. Had a nice block at the rim. Had a crazy breakaway dunk, looking like LeBron on a break. Oh my God, his athleticism is ridiculous, man. It doesn't make any sense. I always hear, Amin is the top athlete. Amin is it's like, did they forget he has a brother? I don't understand. The prisoner of the moment stuff is crazy. The first year when they came into the league, Ausar was the one getting more attention because Amin was hurt, and then last year it flipped. So it's just like the short memory is hilarious to me, but. Ausar, we know when he's at his best. Yeah. When he's able to use that speed, right? Not as much ball handling yet because he's still kind of loosey-goosey with the basketball sometimes, right? He does make the flash play, a flash play. It's like, whoa, I didn't know he had that. But too many times he's bottling the ball, moving too quickly. But you see the talent, the ability is there. I still want him to focus on the defensive side of the floor. I've heard about him playing point. I'm not, and especially with who we have now, what we saw tonight from other guys, I would rather him not do that right now because we have taking care of the basketball is so important. We saw it tonight.
Yep.
You don't take care of the basketball, you're going to pay for it. And we have guys on this team who I think can better do that. So I think for now, him just continuing to focus on the defensive side of the ball and being opportunistic when it's there, as opposed to giving him plays and saying, go run this set.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's like JB when he was, on the sideline being like, go, go, go. That was Ausar bringing it up. And I think that, again, the hesitation is just the biggest thing with Ausar. I think once he taps into his confidence, he'll be there. And we have, we've talked about the wings, like having Ausar and Ivy, having Ausar and Ron on our side. We know they're speedy. So, but I agree with you completely. I think, JB can see that he can be a very, very well-rounded player. But if he focuses on defense and then just, making the right decisions on offense, I think then that's all we need from him this season for him to really take off.
Yeah, for sure. So offensively, we just got to be patient with him. It's not a thing where it's like, should we bench? No, it's nothing like that. He's too good defensively, I think, right now. I think, if anything, you just find other ways for him to be effective offensively that don't involve him shooting as much or trying to look for his offense as much. But he's still too valuable to sit down. I don't think that should be a question right now, but he'll get better. It was nice seeing him and Ron Holland 9 to 5, kind of on the court together. Even though the shooting isn't there yet, you just see, because we all were clamoring for that last year. Like, man, I want to see those two guys in the court, but they can't shoot, so we understand why, right? Now it's like, let's see how it looks. It's preseason. These games don't matter yet. Let's just see how it looks. Yeah. And you saw the connection between them, defense to offense, on a few plays. They are really hard to score on the court together. When they're on the court together, it's really hard for opposing teams to really get to what they want to get to offensively. So I'm looking forward, and that's why I'm looking for them to improve their jump shot. Not so much as much Ron, because Ron is already showing that jump shot is improving. He's a little bit ahead. Yeah. But if Ausar can get to that point eventually, what they can do and the effect they can have on the game on both ends is going to be scary. But even without that, they still show they can be a plus on the court together. So that's still encouraging.
Oh, yeah. And I think if he focuses on like offensive rebounds as well, that will be huge. We know he has the length, the speed. So just like the little things, again, first his game, I have a feeling the next preseason game, he'll look a lot better. I think that when we saw him in media day, he talked about how he wanted to be more confident, come out and show. So now we got this game out of the way, shook it off. He knows how to improve. So,
yeah, man, y'all are coming in hot with these comments. We are trying our best to keep up. If we miss you, repost it, and we'll try to get to you for sure. All right, Sarah, let's keep it moving. Let's go to Tobias Harris, Uncle T. So tonight, Uncle T, guys, finished with 13 points on 5 for 7 shooting, 1 for 2 from 3, 2 or 3 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, no turnovers in 14 minutes. So, Uncle T, Sarah, what you got?
They just emphasize how he's in year 15 and he's out here doing these things. And it's fantastic. He's setting a great example for our young guys. I love that he's just such a veteran. That early dunk, he's at clutch shots, 71% field goal. He looked ready. He looked like I'm here. I'm ready for the season. And now I'm just excited to see what he sets up for his teammates as well. Yeah.
For sure. Tonight, he kind of looked like an extension of what we saw in the playoffs. Oh, yeah. Right. We know with the beginning of last year, he started off slow. I can't say definitively, but I am very confident in saying that he is going to start this season much better than he did last season. Right. Tonight, he looked very steady. Unlike last year, right? The thing is, unlike last year, he didn't know what his role was going to be. Coming to this team day one, you don't, even with training camp, which is only a week, right? That's not a ton of time to figure out your role for a young team like this. Should I have more of a load? Should I have less of a load? It's just hard to know coming in, right? Yeah. So that had to be figured out on the fly in the first couple of weeks. And that's why we saw him kind of struggle. But tonight, I know it's preseason, but even with the approach, you could just see he played with so much more attention. He understood his role for this team, and he went and said, okay, I know what I got to do. Let me go do it. And he just looked so comfortable. That's why he was so efficient. That's why defensively he looked solid. That's why he was a plus in this game. He knows his role for this. The talent isn't an issue. The ability is he's a very talented player. It's how do I fit in this team? Yeah. And having a team play in the playoffs and then having a full offseason along with the training camp, now he knows exactly what his role is, and it's showing now for sure. Plus that dunk on Santi Aldama. That's done. I was just talking to Eric about this. Eric was like, bro, why doesn't he dunk with one hand anymore? It's always these little modest, polite two-handed dunks. Tonight, he threw that thing down all over Santi down. It was almost like it's almost like he took the trade rumors personal.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
The trade rumors about we need to get a stretch forward. I was saying Nas Reed, right? I was saying Nas Reed. I was hearing Santi Aldama. I was hearing other guys, Laurie Markkinen. Yeah. It seemed like he took that out on Santi Aldama when he was at the rim. Because he don't usually do that. So to see him, usually it's a little evasive layup, right? But he said, nah, you right here. I'm posterizing you. Go ahead.
I think you said the perfect word. It was steady, comfortable, reliable. And he just knew, he started with the same guys basically, and then with Ivy and Stu, but he's used to these guys. He feels good. And like you said, he took it personal. Mm-hmm. He's that kind of guy. He has chips on his shoulder. He wants to go out and prove. So I loved him tonight. And then, like you said, last season, he had good games, off games. You can never tell. And just to come out here in preseason, they said at the start of the game, he was like, it doesn't matter. This is a preseason game. We're going to go out and give it our all. And he followed through. He did that. Yeah. And
this is a different note, but shout out to him too for what he's doing for the community.
Oh my gosh.
As far as trying to help with providing housing, providing loans, good loans for people to be able to get a house and things like that. Like, that doesn't get talked about enough. So I want to shout him out for that, for pouring back into his city. He's got roots here. He's got family here. I want to shout him out for that because he's the perfect vet you want for this team. The professionalism, just how he carries himself, the experience of being in the playoffs, and then of course stuff like this. Mm-hmm. This is why I don't think he's going to get traded.
Oh yeah,
before the season's over. No. I think he's going to play this contract out. This 2-year deal. This is the last year of his deal. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to play it out. I think he should play it out. Yeah. Because even if he doesn't come back after this year, there still could be things he could probably teach some of these guys. Mm-hmm. Right? Oh. So there's no reason to do anything now, in my opinion. Go ahead.
Yeah. Someone said, I'm trying to find the comment. Like you said, they're all here. It is. He needs to retire a Piston. If he doesn't stay with us after this year, I don't know if he'll go elsewhere. It's up to him. Like they said, he's in year 15. He still looks fantastic. Yep. But with what he's doing with the community, like you mentioned, what he's doing for this team, it's just all falls under that realm, that word comfortable. He's comfortable where he's at in life, in the game, in his team. So it's just awesome to see that he's really embraced it. And of course the city embraces him. So absolutely. Yeah, we think more of him than a crumble cookie for sure. Tobias, if you're watching this, we do not view you as that. We have more. we love you here. So that'd be nice for him to retire as a Piston. I think that'd be a nice gesture. I think he has earned that at this point, and I think he's gonna be here for the duration of this year, at least for sure. Oh yeah. Okay, Dominique with the first super chat of the year. Appreciate you, brother. As always showing love, man. I gotta lift my head because he got a long comment. Let me go ahead and get this in real quick. All right. Dominique says, what's good, dudes? Glad to see the band back together. Yes, sir. Liked what I saw, trying not to get too hype. It's preseason, but I'm going to overreact anyway. My guy, Crash Out Ron, going to be balling this year, and Duncan shot is so beautiful. So, Sarah, you look like you want to chime in on that. Go ahead. Oh, I love what he said about Duncan. I know we'll get to him, but Duncan, I mean, to be on the team, way to show up and show out for these fans. Yeah. That was, awesome. He did great with his shot, his we'll get to it more, I'm sure, but plenty of stuff on Duncan. And I think it's okay to overreact when we're winning, because I think if we lost, we'd be saying don't overreact too. But soak it in. That was a great game. We dug ourselves a hole and then we got out of it. Right. Yeah. So I think the biggest thing is not to overreact to the record. Oh yeah, absolutely. Right. If we're 1-3 or 2-2 or something like that. Oh, we didn't go forward. Oh, who cares? Oh yeah. Right. That kind of thing. But Dominique made a good point. Ryan, we're gonna get to Ryan too. But Ryan also showed some things that he's kind of pretty much an extension from Summer League. Right. This wasn't his team tonight, but you still saw his approach that he had with Summer League. Very, very similar. So we're going to get to him. Before we get to him, let's go ahead and get to Isaiah Stewart. And once again, Dominique, you've been showing love since the beginning, bro. Got a lot of love for you, man. I appreciate your love. Let's keep it rolling, man. All right. So let's go to Isaiah Stewart. So Isaiah Stewart tonight, guys, had, by the way, he started, like we mentioned earlier, for JD. Starter minutes, he had 12 points on 5 for 7 shooting. 1 of 2 from 3, 1 of 1 from the free throw line, 4 rebounds, 1 block, 1 turnover in 18 minutes. So, Dog Pound King member, what did you think of our guy Isaiah Stewart tonight? I'm a little shocked at his stats that they're not higher because it seemed like he has such a bigger impact. Like that's just what he brought to the team. And you know, to mention JD, I think they're just being cautious with JD. Like you said, I don't think it's a big thing. Stu's used to, you know, I don't mind Stu in the starting lineup anytime we need him. I just saw his IQ a lot. He was on Landale, had him a lot, and he knew it, and he attacked every time.
Yep.
He was like, I know I can get to the rim on you, big guy, and he did. And then, you know, he mentioned in media day using that 3 when needed. This is the exact situation when he needs to shoot a 3. When we're down big and when he's wide open.
Right.
3. Cade said it, you know, because, you know, if he didn't have that green light, you know, he might have did an extra pass, dribble it to the basket. He knows his ability. And so I think that he used it exactly how he should. And his energy was fantastic. The blocks, the rebounds. He was by the rim all the time, except between the threes, but he was there.
Some of y'all are drunk in these comments, man. We need to, y'all just trolling. We need to bring in another vet like Luigi DeTomi or Walter Herman. Bro, stop. Marvin talking about I prefer Tobias over LBJ in this team this year. Hey, man, I don't know if he's joking or serious. Said Tobias is the Pistons, Jared Goff. Like, hey, I'm not mad at that one. I'm not mad at that one. Just steady. Michael Hustler said, Miami will get frustrated with Fontaine. Come on, man. Why are you still catching strays, bro? Y'all silly. Go ahead. You gonna say something?
I was just saying that would have been I've told you, what if we do a comparison between Lions and Pistons? And and you know, Jared Goff, you're like, oh, okay, because he runs the show. But I think it's more Tobias. Calm demeanor, knowing where to go and when to do it. So I agree wholeheartedly with that comment. Yeah,
being the wily vet of the young team, which is just like the Lions, right? So a lot of similarities there for sure. Good leader, 100%. Doesn't do anything crazy flashy.
Nope.
But just gets the job done. Yeah. Right. So I think that's a pretty good comparison. I'm not mad at that at all. And it's funny because somebody said that we pretty much went from saying, oh, it's only a 2-year deal from Tobias to not wanting to resign him. Beside me, shout out to you. That's a great point. Yeah. It's a tradable contract to now it's like, oh, is he gonna come back next year? Right? How quickly things can change.
That was the plus that people said when we signed him back. They're like, well, at least it's only 2 years. At least we can get out of it, you know? And now we're like, no, stay.
Yes, 100%. Organic, this is the last one, and I'm done with y'all trolling. While we're at it, what's Henry Ellison and John Lower up to? Y'all sick, man. Y'all sick, bro. I'm done. I'm done with y'all, man. I'm done with y'all. All right. Let's go ahead and, I got a comment on Stu. Okay, so my thoughts on Stu, man. First of all, why are people still trying to dunk on Stu?
Crazy. They don't know him.
Y'all don't have any film on this man by this point? Did y'all not see what he did last year? Did y'all just think he's still just a fighter or a brawler or just starting trouble? They're going to find out eventually. Put the dog pound, mess around, find out, man. Y'all know what it is. Anyway, he looks to be, I was watching this. He looks, just how he was moving. He looks to be every bit of the player he was pre-injury.
Yep.
He looks like Stu. He looks like Stu. Watching him play, now with this added 3-ball, I said this last year before he got this, but watching him play, player comp wise, I see a young Al Horford. Atlanta, Al Horford. All-star level Al Horford. Not Al Horford now, who's 374 years old.
Yeah.
But the one that was in his early to mid-20s, mid to early 30s, right? So that's what I'm looking for. And that's what I see in him. Because you see he's an undersized, big, right? But he gets the most out of his ability. And it seems like year over year, he gets a little bit better here and a little bit better there, right? Just as close to that ceiling as humanly possible is what he seems to be doing. His footwork has improved. I saw him taking a seat under the hoop, right? And saying, give me the ball. Too little down here. Nice little move. Bucket. Easy. And with the 3-ball now, I see a lot of Al Horford because he's got the defense. Al Horford was not a crazy leaper, but he knew how to time his jump. He knew angles. He studied film. Isaiah Stewart does all those things, and they're around the same size, and they're both strong. So I see Stu being an Al Horford, Atlanta Hawks level player. I think he has the ability to be that good. If you guys remember Al Horford back when he played for Atlanta, y'all when they were winning 60 games with Kyle Korver and Jeff Teague and all those guys, y'all remember. So that's definitely what I see for Isaiah Stewart. But he does what Stu does, man. He set the tone. He pitched a tent in the paint, right? Didn't allow anything in the paint. And he set great screens. And if he takes like 2 to 3 threes a game, I am cool with that.
Yep. I think
to keep the defenses honest.
Yeah, Cade's shooting improved also off it with Stu's help, with Stu's screens.
Right.
And for a guy that's built like a football player, he's so
Facts.
wide. So the athleticism. We talk about Cade's athleticism. We talk about Ausar's athleticism. We talk about Ivey's. What about Stu? It's insane. And again, like you said, did they not remember that he led the league in rim defense last year?
Come on, man.
Missed the defensive team by just not playing enough minutes, which I do hope that this year he does get that opportunity. And honestly, like I'm watching him and I'm just like, we have 2 big men. We're deep in our big men. Whoever's in, I'm happy with it. There's last with we talked about it. Like there's Jokic and there was DeAndre Jordan. That's a difference, last year. For us, there's Stu and there's Duren. There's no difference. They both bring they're both different styles of play, but they're both super reliable at that center position. Right.
Very true. Phantom of Darkness here says, if Isaiah Stewart turns into a viable power forward option, then we won't need to worry about getting another starting caliber power forward. So how do you guys feel about that? Because this is Tobias, the last year of his deal. A lot of people were wanting a bigger power forward, right? Even though Tobias has performed well. This is a question to the chat. How do you guys feel if the Pistons were to look at after this season, moving Stu to the 4 with JD to the 5, especially if Stu can consistently knock down that 3 ball? Now, of course, that would affect your bench because you got to have an anchor off your bench. So who would that be? That may be easier to get because, bench guys are easier to get than starting caliber players. Yeah. But just want to throw it out there. I don't have an answer at this point. I'm going to think about that. That was a good point. I don't know how I feel about that yet. I like Stu off the bench right now. But I'm going to think about that. What do you think, sir?
I'll give, I like the 2 big lineup. I think it's something that for, kind of like OKC did with Hartenstein and Holmgren. Stu was a 4 for us already and did great there. After we're going to get to him, but after tonight, I wouldn't be mad if we did that and then had a Paul Reed sub in for center, because that's just, I think I like you. I don't know how I feel about it yet, but for certain situations against certain teams, a lineup with Duren at the center and Stu at the 4 would not harm us. I think it would actually do really well.
Okay. Yeah, it's an interesting thought, right? I'm just thinking about it. We know 2 big lineups are starting to come back, right? We've seen that, and we've all talked about wanting a bigger power forward. So we can't just turn around now and say no, Stu at the power forward if that's what we've been clamoring for, especially a forward that can shoot the 3. So just something to think about. I'm not sure what the front office is thinking, but I did think it was interesting to see that he is shooting more 3s this year, considering that he has been playing center for this team from the majority of time. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see. But Stu played great, man. Another big who we're going to get to later, Sarah, that you didn't mention. You mentioned Paul Reed, who I wholeheartedly agree. Tolu Smith. Guys, stay tuned for that. We have a lot more to get to on some of these reserve guys. So let's start with the first reserve, Marcus Sasser. So tonight, guys, Sasser finished with 11 points on 3 of 5 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 4 of 5 from the free throw line. He had 4 assists. He had 1 steal and 1 turnover in 14 minutes. What was your reaction to what you saw from Marcus Sasser tonight?
I liked it. I think he came out and did what we know Sasser to do. He the 1 turnover thing is huge for me because he had the ball a lot and he was ball handling a lot and he was getting into the paint. And if he didn't finish, he kicked it back out. This also goes credit to Daniss Jenkins. One thing I remember is just, Marcus collapsing, 3 guys on him and Daniss made sure to get open and Marcus passed it back out. Daniss hit that 3. It was beautiful. They work really well together. I liked what I saw from Marcus. Again, I know that he can do more. Like I know that he can amp it up more. Again, for the fast team that we are, I don't think we got to that level of speed tonight. And I think that affected it because I think Sass also works really good off of fast breaks and just getting the ball off the floor fast. But I like it. It's a commendable stat line for the preseason game.
Okay. I love Marcus Sasser's game. I think he's a bucket. Absolute bucket. This is a big season for him, right? It's a big season for him. Tonight, he looked like he was more comfortable and in command of the offense when he was out there. They were kind of using him as a point and a shooting guard at times, just trying to see where he's most comfortable. You can still see when he's playing point, he's still trying to figure some things out. Yeah. At that point guard spot. There are a few times I noticed on his delivery out of his pass out of the pick and roll, when Paul Reed would roll off the screen, the pass would be too late. Yeah. And by the time he would make the pass to Reed, Reed's defender already switched back to him.
Mm-hmm.
And the shot clock's going. So things like that is what I'm watching for with Sass, as far as just getting the ball to where it needs to be at the right time as the point guard. Because the thing is, this is what he has said. If you guys have paid attention to what he said during media day and training camp, he kept referring to himself as the point guard. He would say, as a point guard, this is what I got to do. As a point guard, this is what's required. As a point guard, I got to run the offense, right? So I'm trying to get comfortable as the point guard. He kept saying that over and over and over again. So with that, I'm just watching him as the point guard, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm just watching him. He's still trying to figure something. He doesn't look completely comfortable playing the point. You can see as the two, it's easy for him, right? He can break anybody down one-on-one and get a shot off. Mm-hmm. Right. But because he kept referring to himself in that way, it made me think that's what coach is looking for from him, to kind of take more of that point guard role. Yeah. But I think right now he still has some strides to make. Yeah. And I think right now we have some better options with guards, with guys who are used to playing point guard. Because Sass is a scoring guard. So it's kind of unfair to ask him to be the same level as some of these other guys when they played that their whole life. Yeah. Right. Just keeping it a stat. Go ahead.
Absolutely. I agree with you. I think that, looking through the lens of like, okay, is this a good point guard? He did take a little time to make decisions. As Nashawn says here, I thought Daniss outplayed Sass, at least to the point. I agree. Read the floor a little better. Mm-hmm. But this, I agree with this. Sasser only plays good when he's on the floor with Daniss. And the reason I agree with this is because Daniss and Sass grew up together. I think they're very comfortable together. Right. So I think it's a matter of comfortability too. So like they said, everyone mentioned him improving on media day. So I was looking for a little more, but maybe this is just the, JB can go back and be like, hey, this is what I was talking about, in this game, what you did or what we need you to improve on. This is what we need from you. So, but I think someone else mentioned coming off the floor with like a Ben Gordon type score, because he is super reliable coming off the bench and being like, we just need you to score. Because that's kind of what we've used him as. So I think right now the consensus is shooting guard is kind of where he needs to be, but we'll see if he can develop his point guard a little more. Right.
That's kind of the dilemma. It's kind of like, where is he going to be effective consistently? Yeah. Right. Because go ahead.
You said too, it is a big year for him. We're determining, whether he has a future on the Pistons and then or elsewhere. And as a Sasser fan, I really do hope that he makes the leap, because I do like him with us. I do too. And even if we have a lot of guys with potential to be great point guards and shooting guards. So even if he makes the leap with us and leaves, I just want success for him, Yeah. So I think he just needs to, we're not going to overreact to preseason. Right. Manageable stat line, like I said, but then with your points, I agree that he fell short in some areas.
Yeah, it's just some things to look out for. Right. He may play much better game 2, game 3, game 4, right? More reps, more time. That helps anything. It helps any player in any situation. Yeah. So that's kind of what I have my eye on with Sass. I mean, he looks the part as far as offensively with his game. He can score the basketball at will. The only thing is that we have other guys off our bench who can also get their offense, who are a little bit bigger. And we've heard Trajan say he wants guys who are bigger. He wants that defensive versatility. So it's like, based off of those words, where is the role going to be for him? Which is what I'm worried about for him. So like you mentioned, if it's not here for somewhere else, he's an NBA player for sure, NBA talent for sure. So it's just hard for me to watch him just on the bench, like not getting opportunity. It's just tough. It's tough. But I hope he can figure it out for this team, because if he can figure out a role for this team, we can really be a very deep and dangerous team, which we'll get to more. Yep. Okay. Absolutely. Let's move on to Caris Levert. So Caris Levert tonight, guys, had 2 points, 1 for 8 shooting. He did not shoot well tonight at all. 1 for 8, 0 for 4 from 3, 1 assist, 2 turnovers in 18 minutes. So this was a stinker for Caris Levert in his first game in the preseason, of course, with the Pistons. What were your thoughts on Caris Levert tonight overall?
I think that he went out there and tried, he got shots up. He's like, I'm going to try to, make an impact. Didn't work out for him. I have been a Levert fan. I think this is just getting the hang of it. I know that he's going to be okay. But like you said, tonight, it was just the ugliest stat line on the team, but I expect him to bounce back from that, because he really is a good player. And there were a couple times, that he was close. There were a couple of Duncan Robinson passes to him. He would get to the rim and miss a layup, whether there was contact or not. I did notice him talking, to the refs a little bit after some stuff. And the Pistons, Detroit versus everybody. The Pistons are used to the refs not giving us the benefit of the doubt, especially with some of the silly touch fouls they were calling on us on the other end. So I think that he just needs to, like Cade has emphasized in press conferences and stuff, he just needs to keep his mind in the game and just play through it. And just go harder. And I know he has it in him.
Oh, for sure. So I'm gonna call myself all the way out just based off of this one small sample size. I told everybody, I've been saying it for weeks now, that Caris Levert is going to be the most important acquisition this offseason. And I still feel that way.
Yep.
Right? Nothing has changed for me with Caris Levert. He didn't look his shot wasn't falling, but a lot of it still looked within the flow of the offense. He was still making the right play. It just wouldn't fall. It just didn't go his way. But you saw the gravity that he had when he had the ball in his hand. You saw guys weren't sagging off of him. Like they respect him as an offensive threat.
Yes.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not concerned with Caris Levert at all. I think it's just one bad game. His first game as a Piston, preseason, cruise control, like somebody mentioned. Yeah, he knows it's preseason. Not saying that you should develop bad habits, but we're not going to see this in the regular season. We're going to see him kick it up a notch. Yeah.
And I think he had great court movement. I think when he didn't have the ball, he was moving around. He didn't stand still. He was going. So I think he tried to get the feel for it. Like you said, it didn't go his way a few times. I think it would look a little different if it did. And not worried about him. And he's still one of my favorite acquisitions. And I'm excited for what he can do for this team and what him and Duncan can do on the floor together.
Yeah, we're going to get to Duncan in a second. Yeah, shout out to Detroit Drew. Solid defense. Yeah, he's a good defender. That's the thing. Guys, he wasn't this type of defender before JB Bickerstaff. Period. That's exactly what he said. When he played for the Nets and these other teams, he has said multiple times that he was not demanded to play defense. It wasn't demanded of him. So he said he became a better player when he went to Cleveland and was coached by JB. He challenged him to be a two-way player, the same way he challenged Cade last year to be a two-way player. So we're going to see this all season from him defensively. He's going to strap up defensively. That's what he does now. He's a complete player now on both sides of the ball. So Ryan says, I think Caris was filling out his role similar to how Tobias did last season. Good point. Getting the feel for his team in game time minutes first. 100%. 100%. It's preseason.
Great comparison.
Well said. I totally agree with that. All right. Let's move on to Duncan Robinson, who you actually just mentioned, Sarah. So Duncan Robinson tonight had 10 points on 4 for 8 shooting, 2 for 6 from 3, 5 boards, 2 assists, 3 steals. Wow, pretty solid. 1 turnover in 19 minutes. What do you think about Duncan tonight?
I loved it. His shot is so smooth, especially like when it goes in. It is just beautiful. I don't think he hit rim once. Just gorgeous,
including the air ball.
Yeah. Oh, what a feat! Exactly. Someone earlier said that his air ball was just him getting rid of his Miami days, and now it's
shots fired.
I know. I love it. But he did great. I was actually more impressed with how he just went for the ball, rebounds, offensive rebounds, defensive rebounds, his steals. Again, his steal that led to Ivey's first basket back.
Good point.
And he was right there. He could have dribbled it in. He knew Ivey was behind him to make that shot too. I was very impressed with Duncan, and I'm excited for more. I'm excited to see more.
Nashawn says Chaz. This is off topic. Chaz going to be the Pistons version of Isaac Tesla with the Lions. Ooh. Yeah. Rookie, that takes a step early on. Okay, I'm not mad at that, Nashawn. Okay. As far as what I saw from Duncan, you mentioned it. Other than that, the airmail, he knocked down a shot. He was open. He's got a silky smooth jump shot, man. It's crazy. Ron Holland's actually talked about how he's been in his ear trying to pick up things from him shooting the basketball. So that's going to be a great thing for a guy like Ron, who's got a similar build. Different game, but similar build, and got a nice looking jump shot. Does Ron Holland now as well. So Duncan is gonna be good for this team. Like you mentioned, he made some nice defensive plays, got some steal. I think just his attention to defense is pleasantly surprising. Yeah, for me, you can tell he really understands the game.
Yeah,
he can see plays before they happen, which is what allows him to be able to get those steals, even though he's not a gifted athlete. He can see it. So I think that's the difference. I love Bees, right? I'm not saying he even is Bees, but I'm already seeing defensively some things that Duncan brings as far as just a defensive awareness that he has about himself. And I think that's going to be something that is kind of underrated this year for sure.
I agree. I actually had the same thought watching it because I was like, of course, I mean, I miss Bees. I was watching
For sure.
all the time, or together all the time together. Doc, I got a chance to, and it was a little bittersweet seeing Bees in there.
It was.
But I was watching it, and Robinson, I was like, he got these smooth threes. He's moving a lot, and like you said, he has awareness on the court, just always aware. Always moving. Oh my gosh, like never stop. He'd be out of frame for some of these steals and rebounds. And he's like, I can go get that. And I just really appreciated his drive today, what he really wanted to do and really show up and show out. He looks comfortable already. And that's huge.
He does. That's a great point. And I think once again, that's what vets are so important. That's why they're so important. Him being to the finals twice.
Yeah.
Right. In 2 times in 3 years, pretty much. He went against the Lakers in the bubble season in 2020. And I think again against your Denver Nuggets. By the way, Sarah is based in Denver, guys. So she's really what time is it right? Like 8:48 right now? 9:48?
Yeah,
what time is it?
It's a nice time I get to come home, and usually the game's on by 5. It's a quick thing. And when he says your Denver Nuggets, I love that.
I had to.
They're so fun to watch. But, the Pistons are my team. I just always have to clear that up because, the Nuggets are a blast. If you lived in a place that had Jokic.
Man, what?
So, yeah, you would go to the games, So I've lived here for 9 years and love it. But when the Pistons come here once a year, I am the Nuggets' biggest hater. So,
I love it.
Yeah, so and
so you were probably 11 when Cade crossed over Jokic a couple years ago for that step back 3. Okay.
And I remember I think the Pistons have only won 1 game in the 9 years that I've lived here in Denver. And I just remember that was 2 years ago, and I remember taking a picture. It was the best day ever, and that was without Cade and without most of our starters. So
you're right. I remember that.
Giving some other fans around me some smack talk about how our B team is beating their A team, But,
Facts.
The Nuggets are fun. But to go back to Robinson, like you mentioned, the Heat also have been a hard team for the Pistons to beat. Even last year, overtimes, close games. Robinson was a factor in all of that, and he's been on teams that also rely on shooting and stuff. I wouldn't say the Heat are similar to the Pistons in that they're a coming up team. Obviously similar play styles because
defense
kind of like the Hawks, where there's something about it where we just match up so well that it's a tough game. So I think Robinson hopping over, there was something about that helped get it in, and he was out there too a little talking to the refs, a little frustrated, and that's what we like to see as Pistons fans. So
I think any new acquisition that comes here, any new player is going to be shell shocked.
Yeah.
But and they're going to see it's not hyperbolic as far as us complaining about. It's not tongue in cheek about us complaining about these calls. It's a real thing, and it's legit. The level we're talking about it at is legit. So it's not surprising that those 2 guys, Caris and Duncan, when they already are like, bro, huh? So for sure. Duncan plays solid. Go ahead. Anything else on that?
Yeah, well, we got JB's stats on his texts, how he never had so many texts in his whole coaching career.
Right.
They got to the Pistons because it's pure frustration,
Yeah.
And so we have those passionate guys on our team. And again, like I mentioned earlier, they're just going to have to learn to power through it and let it feed them. Let it feed that chip on everyone's shoulder.
Facts. Absolutely, man. Before we move on, let's hit a few more comments. Doug says, Deuce, time for summer break to be over. You still got it. And Sarah is a real joy. Pure analysis. I appreciate that, Doug. Doug is a longtime Pistons fan. I think he's been a Pistons fan for about at least 50, 60 years, at least. So he's the OG here for sure. So shout out to you, Doug. You always show love, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate the compliment for sure. All right. Let's go to our next guy here, Sarah. Let's go to Ron Holland, Dog Pound Jr. So tonight, Ron had 9 points on 3 for 6 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 2 from the free throw line. He had 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 3 turnovers in 16 minutes. Reaction to LeBron, Dog Pound Jr.
He almost took it easy. It took it ezy on them. He didn't even try to turn it up all the way yet. But I saw him attempt some of his jump shots that he's working on, a couple of threes. Not mad about it. I think a lot of it was just the discombobulation that they felt in the start too. Just getting used to a new lineups, new teammates. I liked what I saw, and again, I know that there's more to come. So
Yeah.
I know he's gonna just light it up one of these days.
For sure. Organic Lindo Sarah asked if you're wearing a Jokic jersey.
Oh no,
I don't think those are Jokic colors.
No,
I think I like Pistons colors, ain't it?
My Rasheed Wallace. I do have.
Okay.
So I'll tell you, I only have 2 Nuggets jerseys, and
Okay.
it's a Billups jersey and a McDyess jersey because I'm not going to cheat on my Pistons. I probably will get a Jokic eventually,
Okay.
but I only attend games in Billups or McDyess.
I love that.
Yes.
I love it. It's like ritualistic at this point. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
All right. One more comment on, we're talking Denver. Marvin says, Jokic and Cade in the same team, Chico. That wouldn't even be fair, bro. That wouldn't even be fair. That would be the best unathletic duo ever.
Triple-double nightmare.
Ever. How many games would they have triple doubles each? Like probably 10 games and both having triple dubs. Insane. I love Jamal Murray, but Cade, come on, bro. Anyway, all right, we ain't gonna go down the rabbit hole. All right, let's go to Lil Ron. You had some good points on that. Somebody was asking about his jumper. I saw somebody asking how his shot looks. Ethan, shout out to you. It looks good. It looks much improved. Last year, it was like a little bit of a hitch in his jump shot and his release. He was kind of pulling it across his body. Now he's just going straight up with it. It looks really fluid, really smooth. There was one play, and of course the confidence is going to be even more now that he's seeing the fruits of his labor with his jump shot. He's seeing it get better. Now it's like, man, give me the ball. And that happened on one play in this game. I forgot what quarter it was, but the shot clock was winding down. I think Sas had the ball, and Ron's like, give me the ball.
Yeah.
He gives him a pass. He doesn't even think about it. He just goes straight up.
Yeah.
Bottoms.
Yeah.
So it's just like, man, this dude, he's going to be a problem. Ron Holland is going to be a problem, man. He had a nice chase down block, and then went coast to coast for a nice dime for Duncan Robinson in the corner. It didn't fall. It was a good shot, but it just shows you that two-way ability, being able to track down shots almost like how Ausar does, and then being able to push the break.
Yeah.
Like you're comfortable with the ball in Ron's hands on the break.
Yeah.
Already. Right. He's a pretty good ball handler already. And he's a good playmaker out of it on the break already. So it's just like, this dude's ceiling is crazy. He's just scratching the surface because he's very well-rounded already. His shot has to come along, and it's already coming along. But he already has a very well-rounded game to where other than the shooting, you're not like, he's got a glaring weakness. He's got to work on that. Oh, he's very, very raw. Like you don't really see that with him. You see him having a higher ceiling, but not because he's raw, because he can just get better. Yeah. So I'm over the moon about this dude, man. He's got a chance to be really special, man. I think he's gonna make a big jump for the Pistons this year. Yeah,
and last year when we first saw him, most of his shots were again like assists from Cade when he's at the rim. He'd drive it in for a dunk. His fast breaks, he'd take it himself. And he'd either make it, he'd throw it out of bounds, he'd lose it, or he'd get fouled. Honestly, so to see the fast break and then a pass out to Duncan was huge. Like you said, the playmaking is there, and you use the perfect word, smooth. None of his jump shots looked forced, none of them looked awkward. A couple open ones, a couple guarded ones, he just went for it, and he just the more he does that, the more it's just gonna go down for him.
Right. Organic says 9 to 5 started to cook, and JB immediately was like, all right, I seen enough. Sit down. Hey, you could be right about that one, because in the limited minutes they were out there together, you saw like the ability, the potential with those guys, man. It's like they're like a bigger version of Lindsey Hunter and Mike James, like Pitbull on the court of the dog pound. You know what I mean? So it's really cool to see that. Yeah. PD Max says, like I said earlier, Ron Holland is here. PD been saying that for a while. Got to give PD a little bit of credit. He's been around for a while as well. Heisenberg says, Ronnie hustle. Marvin says, GMs are blowing up the phones for Ron already. 100%. Y'all know the vibes, man. Y'all see what's going on. Yeah, Ron's going to be one of those guys, man. Holland and Duncan going to be Broadway theater. It's going to be nice, man. It's going to be nice. Ron Holland defensively reminds me of Carlos Delfino. He has a knock. Yeah, Delfino was a pretty good defender, but Ron's going to be way better.
Oh, yeah.
He's longer. He's tall. Yeah. But I know what you mean, Mega Hustler. I definitely see that comparison for sure. Ethan says we have 5 starter level players in Cade, Ivey, Ausar, Ron, and Duran. None of them are a 4, though. I still think that Tobias is a starter level player, bro.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, he may not be a star, but he's one of those glue guys that you need that can do a little bit of everything. kind of fill whatever is lacking. He can kind of, you need him to rebound more, he'll do that. Like down shots, he'll do that. Like be a leader, he can do that. Make a little bit when you need it. He can do a little bit of everything. You got to have guys like that. So there's no way I'm making any calls about Tobias right now. If I get a call, okay, I'll listen. But I'm not making any calls out like we need to upgrade that right now, because I don't think we need to. I just really don't.
I think, and we need. I know that like Dunk and Levert are considered the vets too, but like a vet, again, I'm so happy he's our vet, and he brings composure. Is what he does. He does what he's needed. He checks out, and then he just he's in the game, and he's amping up these young guys. He's a great guy for these players to learn from. He really is. Mm-hmm.
Zion says, can't forget about the finishing. Ron has been really missing it. Yeah. He's either finishing, getting and one, or at least going to the line for two. Yeah. That's a great point, Zion. He's definitely improved that as well. He's going to be scary, man. All right. Yeah. Y'all are crazy, man. Imagine Darko and his team. Y'all got to stop, man. Like, y'all just trying to give us, like, y'all trying to give some comic relief or something, man. Detroit Darko is crazy. Heisenberg says, Ryan and Ausar were getting after on defense when they were out there together. Yep. It feels like they have a friendly competition with each other. Hey, I love that. Yeah. I love that, because iron sharpens iron. Make each other better that way, for sure. Yeah. So I love it.
Major locker room vibes. They've emphasized it. They're out there to support each other and everything. Yep. And so I think I wouldn't be surprised if they have a little competition together. Yeah. To see. I think that we'll get a lot of this season of a defensive play with one of them to an offensive play between both of them. So. Right.
Nashawn says Ron has to stay consistent. I think he shot 70% last year, or in the 70s. That's okay. As a rookie, as a wing, Eric Benson made a great point. And I agree with him. He says, if you're a wing, you can't shoot below 70%. Yeah. You can't. You can't. Right? Not in today's NBA. Like, it's going to get to a point where bigs can't shoot below 70% because it's going to be a entirely shooting game, right? So, yeah, I totally agree with that. But I think he's okay. I think he doesn't take a ton of free throws yet. It's going to go up this year for sure, right? So you're right. He is going to have to knock him down. But I'm not concerned about that because his overall shot looks to be improved. And his confidence is not going anywhere.
Yeah, the confidence has improved. I think he, in the early last season with the Bucks game, he had the game-winning free throws on the line. Yeah, and missed them both, and that's something that sticks with you. That's not going to go away. And I think it sticks with him, and he will like you said, he will get better. He's going to get more opportunities. Yep. I think he's going to get more minutes. He's going to have more green light to handle business. Like you said, handling the ball, he looked great. I would trust it in his hands to bring it up. So. Yep. And he's never lacking confidence. I mentioned the last show. We just talked about this. I'm kind of dating myself, but 1994, 95 finals. The Houston Rockets played the Orlando Magic. And the Magic were up late in the game with about 10 seconds left, up 3 points. They get fouled. 2 free throws. Nick Anderson goes to the line. Only got to make one to put the game away. He misses both of them. 80% free throw shooter. Misses both of them. Second one misses. They get the offensive rebound. He gets it, and he gets fouled again. Goes back to the line for 2 more free throws and misses those. Oh, my God. It was never the same. The Rockets, after that, still down 3 because he missed all 4. They tie the game, go to overtime, and win the game in overtime. Wow. He was never the same after that. He shot 60%, sub 60% for the rest of his career after shooting 80% prior to that. So he was never able to get over that mentally. That ain't Ron Holland. No. Ron said, bring on the challenge. Ron's like, I'm going to show you guys that will never happen again. Yes. I love it. Someone up here made a comment again with the Lions that I love. I need Ron and Ausar to come to a game, and Kirby Joseph and Brian. Because I agree with that. Those guys, all defensive dogs. Fire. You can rely on them to make the big play. So I 100% agree. That's a great one. The Jared Goff one was good. I think that's a great one. But Branch and Kirby, I like that for sure. What do you think of this from Phantom of Darkness? I actually think Ron may end up being a better shooter than Ausar. I think he already is, and I think he always will be. Okay. I think he always will be. I think regardless of the work, because they're both going to work hard. I don't think Ausar is going to outwork Ron or anything like that. I think they both work hard. They both take pride in that. But I think Ron is just a naturally more gifted offensive player. And I think Ausar is a more gifted defensive player. Yeah. Right? I don't know if Ron could ever catch Ausar defensively. And that's not a bad thing. Ausar is he's trying to be DPOY. So that's not a bad thing. It's just certain players just have certain strengths and weaknesses. Yeah. And so I think Ron's always going to be a naturally better shooter, better scorer. What do you think? I agree. I mean, I agree to an extent. I can also just kind of see them having very similar stats. I think Ron, his shooting, the way that it's gone so far, seeing from last season to what he's improved, to seeing that improvement from just the summer league to preseason.
Yeah,
he looks like the better offensive shooter when it comes to mid range and 3-point. But Ausar, I think, can catch up. But like you said, I think that focusing on the defense would just be huge because he has the natural talent for that. I mean,
man,
defense is nuts, and I'm not worried about Ausar. I mean, Ron too, but Ausar gets plenty of lobs from Cade to make up any offensive deficits. So.
Oh yeah, he gonna get his touches because he's gonna be able to turn defense into offense.
Yes,
and when that happens, he's gonna get the ball back. So yeah, for sure, I totally agree with you there. Yeah. Nashawn says, classic story. Oh, the Houston Orlando story. Okay, definitely age yourself, Big Deuce. Yeah, I've been around for a little minute, man. I'll be big 4-0 next year, believe it or not. You know, I'm trying to stay young. But I remember vividly every single NBA Finals run from 1990 or maybe even before onward. Mm-hmm. So y'all know I'm coming with the old school stories, man. You know, y'all keep me young, but we gonna definitely have some old school stories in there for sure too. All right. Let's move on to a few more reserves, and then we can kind of pack this thing up for tonight. Paul Reed, man. B-ball Paul was a plus 28, by the way. This is crazy. Plus 28, which was more than double anybody else other than Daniss Jenkins, who had plus 14, who we'll get to later. But tonight, Paul Reed had 5 points on 2-2 shooting, 1-1 from the free throw line, so he's batting 1,000 tonight. 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 2 turnovers in 18 minutes. So I'll let you go first, Sarah. What were your reaction to B-ball Paul tonight?
Paul Reed was my player of the game. He was insane. When they started to turn up the heat, he had his hands on the ball during every one of those plays, whether it was an offensive rebound, a defensive rebound, an assist, a steal, something. I mean, also, his assists looked great too. We'll get to it. But I mean, first of all, always on the glass. He is always by the rim. It doesn't matter which side. He's there. And he had big rebounds. He had out of bounds saves. He had that up the court assist to Robinson that was beautiful. He had that pass inside. Was it to Sass? I forgot who it was to, but they didn't end up making it. But it was a beautiful pass. Going off to the offensive rebounds on Cade's missed free throw, which led to he didn't get it, but it led to our possession because Tobias. He had rejections. I've been a Paul Reed fan, and I'm so glad that we kept him, especially at the price we kept him. He is such an underrated part of this team. He has so much fight, so much dog in him. He is constantly going after the ball. He impacts every play. He was again my player of the game. I don't know if we could have come back. Well, I mean, I have faith in our team, but like he was just a big part of that coming back 20 down, because when we put him in, he did his job and helped get us to where we ended up. Yeah,
I mean he was very solid, man. Energy and effort is always on 10. He's got a really high motor. That's one thing I appreciate about him, because he does have some skills. It's not like he's just a motor guy. Like he does have some ability, but he doesn't just rest on that. He still always brings 100%. I appreciate that about him. Like you mentioned, a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of extra possessions. He looks a little bigger to me too. Yeah. He looks a little wider, a little bigger than he was last year. So like everybody else in this team, he probably put on some muscle, which is good to see. The only thing that bothers me with Paul Reed, and it's not even really a Paul Reed thing, it's a big man thing that I see. These possessions, man, where these bigs try to board and push, where they grab the rebound and just think they're Cade on the break. Y'all know how I feel about that. I talked about JD last year with it. Like, JD, find your outlet. You know, unless you're like Ron or you're Ausar, who's big enough to board, but also skilled enough to handle, or you know what I mean? I don't want to see JD. I don't want to see Ron, or not Ron. I don't want to see Paul Reed. I don't want to see Stu. I don't want to see these guys, dribbling up the court, like, because we saw it tonight. A few times he would try to do it and he would turn the ball over. Errant pass. And it's like, it's so unnecessary, not even needed. You know what I mean? That's the only thing it drives me crazy, Sarah. Like, I'm literally screaming. It's like, pass the ball. Turnover. I'm like, oh my God. Like, so, but other than that, get that ball up. Find your point guard. Outlet. For those who know, outlet. But that was the only thing. But other than that, he played great. He played great, man. Like he looked like a lot like the guy we saw last year. He's going to bring it when he comes to the game. Until he sits back down, you're going to get 100%. So I love it. I love it from him.
I agree with you, but I think he just gets so excited. And sometimes I don't think he even like realizes that he ended up with the ball because he just goes for it so much. Just gets maybe a little bit overwhelmed. So a little bit better on decision making, but God, I appreciate his hustle so much. And that's why he's here, because it was noticeable last season. He's just such a valuable part of our bench, and he gets so deep. And I when Stu was injured and he had to come in and he stepped up really big, I enjoy him so much. And to come out again and do that. How many minutes did he play again?
Paul Reed?
Yeah.
He played 18 tonight.
18, okay. And 12 rebounds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Beautiful. And it's just he's going to get some more preseason minutes. He's earning his spot to get more minutes in the regular season as well. Yeah,
for sure. Zion says, do you guys think with how mobile they are, Stu and Paul could possibly be in some lineups together? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's possible because both of those guys can move their feet pretty well, right? Both of those guys play pretty big as they can. They're both about 6'8". That's probably the only downfall, not having, somebody 6'10" or bigger. But I think in small ball lineups, you can definitely do it because Stu is going to be taking more shots from outside. So you kind of have that inside-outside presence. And even not the three, but Paul Reed can also, if he's open, knock it down. I'm more comfortable with him like 15 feet in he's money there. But they can both shoot the ball a little bit and they can both defend, and they're both athletic as far as their lateral movement as well. So I think they can definitely, I think we may see some of that. When JD sends down, you may see some Paul Reed with some Stu for sure. I can see that.
I agree. I think that's a good lineup to go when we need to emphasize rebounding. Those guys both attack the glass. And again, like you said, if they could just learn to pass it out right away, give it out of their hands ASAP, don't let it hit the floor again.
Yeah.
Then that would be huge. I was hoping for a Paul Reed 3-pointer today because his shot form is so unique.
I know.
I remember I went to, my family lives in Memphis, so I went to a Grizzlies Pistons game last year. And I remember telling my stepdad about Paul Reed. And I was like, you're going to hate his form. You're going to hate it, but it works. So it works usually, And he doesn't take those shots long, but he can be a very reliable 3-point shooter as well.
Shout out to your stepdad too. I heard he's a Pistons fan if he's watching. Shout out to you as well. Yeah. Absolutely. But yeah, I definitely agree, man. But a great point was made here too by Organic. Guards need to know to come get that ball. I agree. I agree with that. 100% agree. You got to, as a point guard, you got to go take the ball out of your big's hands and go get it. Outlet. You got to go get it. So that's for sure. But I'm just saying he needs to be looking for the outlet. Now, if there's nobody there, you grab the board, there's somebody there, before half court. Okay, you got to get it over in 8 seconds. Fine. Yeah. But don't look to do it as soon as you catch it, right? Look to find your outlet. And that's to Organic's point. The guards got to be there to go get the ball. So for sure, I agree. I agree. All right, guys, let's move on to a few more guys here. It's interesting. Tolu Smith is pushing Reed. We almost there. We almost there. We getting there. Let's see who we have next. Let's go to Chaz Lanier. Let's go to I call him Splash Lanier. Splash Lanier. Yeah. The rookie, the young rook. So tonight, Chaz Lanier, guys, finished with 11 points on 4 of 6 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3, 0-2 from the free throw line, which is rare. That happened in the first quarter where everything was kind of going awry. Yeah. He had 3 rebounds, 1 block, which was surprising, in 18 minutes. So what was your reaction to Chaz?
I'm really happy to see him go 3 of 5 from 3. He really started to heat up, feel more comfortable towards the end there. The free throws were, like you said, surprising, but was that first quarter. I feel like everything should just looked in that because it was all a little off. He came out and, with Summer League, he had like one good game and then he was a little disappointing. So I'm just really happy that he came out and he looked a lot more comfortable already. And I think he's just going to get more comfortable. There were a couple times that I just caught him like standing still on the court, not really know where to go. I think that's just a learning thing as a rookie. So the minute that he looks comfortable and confident, we're just going to see that improve. But he did his job today.
Yeah, I agree. Y'all are terrible in these comments, man. Let's take a look. Ryan says Chris Cross named B-ball pause jumper wiggity witty whack, but he gets it to fall somehow. When I was at the open practice, I think it was last year. That was really when I got introduced to him up close. Mm-hmm. And I thought he was, honestly, I thought he was playing around. I thought he was like just playing around. I'm like, man, how he really shoot? I was like, oh, he really shoot like that. But then it started falling. I'm like, oh, all right, never mind. If it goes in, I don't care. There's a lot of guys who had unorthodox jumpers, but it went in. Sean Marion. So a lot of guys. A lot of guys. Nashawn says Splash Lanier is appropriate. Organic Lindo says Fred Vinson lost his last strand of hair when he saw Paul Reed shooting for us. I was screaming.
Oh man.
Hey, that was funny, man. Shout out Paul Reed, man. But that was funny. That was funny. Yeah, man. So Chaz was surprisingly defensively, like PD Mac mentioned here. Shout out PD. He had a nice block at the rim, and it wasn't the help side either. It was straight up on his guy. Tried to go off glass. He said, no, he threw it out of here. So that was very encouraging to see that he's already, not saying he didn't before, because he actually did play for a defensive coach. So I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to see that with him. But that's going to be something that he needs to do to stay on the floor too. It's just not just shooting, but being able to defend. And that was a pleasant surprise just to see his effort and then his execution, his hops, his bunnies being there. He almost had a putback, a dunk too. Yeah. When the ball hung on the rim. So he got some bunnies too. So he's showing he's more than just a shooter. Mm-hmm. He's showing he's got more to his bag than just a shooter, right? I think when in college, Dalton Connect left the year before he did. Okay. And he filled in and they went to the Elite Eight, I believe. So like he filled in like admirably and was a great feeling. They didn't skip a beat. So you can see the shooting ability that he has. So it's just great to see these other components that fit what we're trying to do. Yep. It's great.
Exactly. Yeah. I think that he was picked by Trajan for a reason. Because he knew that we wanted more shooting, but that's not what we're just about. We're not just out here trying to shoot. They want more well-rounded players. I think that JB is going to help turn him into such a force. Yeah. And he just did, he looked great. He looked more comfortable and he just did what is expected from summer league to preseason improvement. And that's all we asked for. And it's just going to get more comfortable with Cade. And I just felt like he was, again, a little bit lost at times, but overall much better than how we saw him play in summer.
For sure. Mr. Macetti says Splash Lanier and Marcus Splasher. Ooh, you've been paying attention because I was saying that last year too about Saz. I was calling Marcus Splasher. So Splash Lanier, that'll be sweet. Detroit's version of Splash Brothers. They got to earn it, though. They got to prove it. In order to get that name, they got to prove it. Because, the Splash Brothers, we know who they are with Steph and Clay. And those are two of the best three shooters possibly of all time. So, but I like where you're going, Mr. Macetti. I like where you're going. All right. As far as Chaz, just everything you didn't say, because you made some good points there. I remember Coach JB saying a couple days ago in training camp that Chaz is one of those guys that can get hot quick. Like he says he's one of those guys who can come into a game and score 30 points on 4 dribbles. Now, we just talked about the Splash Brothers. We know what Klay Thompson did. What does he score? What is it, like, I don't even remember, 60 points in the game on like 10 dribbles or something crazy like that? Something crazy where he didn't even put the ball on the floor at all. Just running off screens, getting open, catching it right in the pocket and going up. And basically, that's what kind of coaches, maybe he's not saying quite to that level, but he's saying he can get close. I mean, 30 points on 4 dribbles, it was an example, but he still said those numbers. Yeah. So that just shows you that this dude can get hot in a hurry. He is a rhythm shooter. Yep. If he catches it in rhythm, watch out. Yep. Watch out. If it hands in his face, don't matter. If it's 5 feet from behind 3-point line, don't matter. Like, this dude has been doing this since college. So if he can add that defensive element that we've seen to his bag, he's going to make it very, like, a lot of these guys are going to make it hard for coach. Yeah. It's going to be hard.
It's so deep. And like you mentioned, just there's multiple guys on our team that you could put that statement to of being able to shoot without dribbling. Sass likes to dribble, but he can catch and shoot. Duncan can catch and shoot, obviously. It's just going to keep, just to have that depth, whether Chaz is, second in for the second lineup and for the third. We have shooters, man. And again, like if they can go out there and shoot and deliver on the other end and in other ways, it's deadly. Deadly.
We have a very deep team, man. Ethan made a good point. Is Chaz going to crack the rotation without injuries factoring in? We're loaded at the 2-3. Yeah, we're loaded.
We don't know.
We're loaded. Like, I don't even want to call it a log jam because we have so many guys who can come in and help. It's not like we just got guys that are just on the bench who you wouldn't even trust to come into a game. right? We have a lot of quality guys on this team. That's going to make it really hard come decision time when that rotation starts to shrink. When you get close, you know, when the regular season starts to go into full effect and then you get close to the playoffs, it's going to shrink even more. So it's still good to have those options. Good to have that depth because look at the Thunder. Look at the Pacers. The two things who were representing the finals last year. They both they could go 10, 11 deep, both of them.
Yeah.
Right. So it's just good to have that depth. It's a good problem to have for sure. But yeah, Chaz played well for sure.
Yeah. And the Pistons, you know, they always look at the next game, like most teams do. Next game, if we're looking ahead, having that depth just means finding the right matchups. There might be times that Chaz plays more and he doesn't. And it might be because we need Duncan's style. We need this style. It's beautiful. You can tell the differences in style, but the similarities as well.
Yeah, for sure. Phantom says he would turn to Bob Lanier's son. I'm dead. That's hilarious. They are related though. That's funny.
Amazing Lanier.
That's crazy, ain't it?
Yeah, I was thinking, I love our new jerseys that are coming out, our city editions. I got to spread out who I buy, you know.
Man, I may have to cash out. I may crash out and get all the starters, man. I love those jerseys. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, they look nice.
For sure.
Nice. But I'm thinking about some of the shooters with those colors would just be really cool.
Yeah, and they're unique too. You don't really see that color scheme anywhere else in the league, which I love. So
it's a nice nod to the teal without hitting.
Right.
I wonder how George Blaha will feel about it because if you ever listen to Blaha, he always goes for the teals.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
I'd love to see his opinion if it's a nice, more subtle teal.
Right. He wasn't the biggest. Yeah, we'll see. Shout out George.
Yes.
All right, a few more guys. Quickly here. Let's go to Javonte Green. Didn't play much, but he played in 7 minutes. So he had 2 points, 1 or 2 shooting, 1 from 3, a board, a steal, in 7 minutes. So not too much from Javonte. He did have a nice, I think he had a breakaway dunk off a turnover. So his athleticism is still there. He's an athlete, man. He gets off the floor with explosion. It's crazy, and he throws it down with thunder. I love his game. I love his mentality. He likes to be able to make guys quit. That's what he said. He likes taking pride in taking your heart and making you quit. He likes to play tough. He likes to bang. He likes to do all that stuff. So
yeah,
I love the mentality.
He looks thrilled to play here because he knows that we thrive on that kind of mindset. And that's what I noticed too. When he got that breakaway dunk, he took off. That was fast. And I just was not expecting him to just he got down there, he did it. And also his defense. I know he didn't make any huge plays, but whoever he was defending did not touch the ball. He stayed in front of them. It was great. And I think he's just going to have more minutes too. Hopefully he's another one that's like, I want to see more of him, but it's just hard. Like, I think he's going to be more so of a security blanket, to be honest with you. And I think that's totally fine. He's more of a depth piece. If you got foul trouble, if Asar gets a foul trouble, Ron, having that dog come in to where there's no let up defensively is what you want. Well, that's what you want. I remember when we had Hami Diallo and he would come in and just make explosive plays just to put the team back into it. Yeah. And I feel like on both ends, and I feel like that's a Javonte Green role right now, is to go in and change the atmosphere, change how the game's going. I'm very excited for him this season as well, and I was excited to see him. I think we'll see a lot more of these guys in the upcoming preseason games. I don't think we'll see starters as much, so they'll have more opportunities. But he should be very proud of the way he played tonight.
You were on fire tonight. Organic Linda was just about to say Hami.
Nice.
And then PD says, you know ball. I told y'all, man, I ain't gonna have nobody on the show. I'm telling y'all, man. Like, she knows her basketball. Y'all gonna see. This is game 1. Wait till we get to the regular season. She's gonna be on 10. She just getting warmed up just like the rest of these players are. So just hold tight. That's coming. That's coming for sure.
Guys, appreciate it.
Y'all already know. Ryan says all D lineup: Stu, Ron, Asar, Green, JD. Sheesh, man. Well, good luck.
Dog pound lineup.
That's the dog pound lineup for sure.
If I was checking into the game and I saw that combination, I would go sit right back down.
Man, I'd be like, Coach, I sprained my esophagus, Coach. I gotta go sit down, man. I don't feel too good.
Clock violations back and forth.
Back. All right, guys. 3 more guys, and then we're gonna call it. All right. Let's go to Bobi Klintman. So tonight, Bobi had 3 points on 1 for 3 shooting, 1 for 2 from 3. 3 rebounds, 3 turnovers in 9 minutes. We didn't play a lot. What are your thoughts on what you saw from Bobi tonight?
Bobi got that 3, and I was like, I wish we had 5 more minutes in this quarter.
I know. I was thinking the same thing. Same thing.
There's his warm up. He got it at 1 minute left.
Yeah.
I know that you are a huge Bobi fan. For me, I of course want Bobi to succeed, and for me, I get frustrated because I know he can, and then I'm like, today's the day. Go do it, and he doesn't yet. But that last 3 gave me hope, and so hopefully he gets in a little earlier next game. Like I said, he'll probably play more, gets in rhythm faster, and we'll see him pop off. But I know that you really love Bobi, so I'm more curious to hear your thoughts.
It's to a lesser extent, I feel about him how I feel about Caris. It's one game, I'm not worried about it. Yeah. This same thing happened with Summer League. He had a bad game. Oh, he's not an NBA player. He had a great game. Oh, he might crack the rotation. He had a bad game. Oh, he gonna be out the league. Come on, y'all. Come on, man. We can't be prisoners of the moment, man. So listen, he didn't have a great game. I need to see more aggression from him. It's a lot like with the JI thing, afraid to step on toes. Like, no, this is not a time to showcase what you can do within the system. Right? If you got a shot, take it. If you have if it's there, take it. If it's not, okay, move it and then move yourself. But he just seemed a little bit too passive, and this passivity has kind of been lingering a little bit since Summer League. Last year's Summer League, he was on fire. That's when I saw him. I'm like, ooh, who is this? Like, kind of like with Daniss Jenkins and Tolu Smith. I was like, who? He was the third guy. I was like, whoa, who's this guy? Where'd he come from? Because you saw the playmaking, you saw the shot making ability, you saw the size, you saw the ball handling. So it's just like, it's there. I need that Ron Holland to come out. Yeah. That's what I need with Bobi. And I know it's theirs, but I'm not going to trip over one game. It wasn't like he just played horrid. You know what I'm saying? He played 9 minutes. Yeah. So it's hard to get into a groove in 9 minutes. You know what I'm saying? So I still think he's an NBA player. I think he has the chance to get some minutes at backup power forward. It's not guaranteed, though, because now we got some guys who have shown they can play the backup big spots, right? So he's going to have to kind of show out a little bit. But I think if he gets the opportunity, the next opportunity he gets, he needs to take advantage of it. Right. He needs to show that he can do it. I think he can. So it's just a matter of not being a prisoner of the moment, not relying on one game and just letting it play out. But I think he's got a shot to still be effective on his team for sure.
Yeah, I agree that he just needs to the confidence that what we see in him, that he just needs to snap. He needs to snap out of it and do it. Do you think that there's any lingering stuff from his injury? How we were talking earlier about how when you get injured, there can be some mental stuff because he was really popping off in Summer League and then didn't really get the chance, or last year, preseason, and didn't really get the chance to play because of a long injury that took him out. So I'm curious if he's also just dealing mentally of where do I fit in here? I'm curious on your thoughts.
I mean, it's possible. It wasn't like it really wasn't like he had a role and then got injured and then was trying to find his way. Like Ausar had a role, then got injured. Jaden had a role, then got injured. So for him, it's like, bro, just go play. Yeah. Just go play. And then let your coaches tell you based off what they saw, based off the aggression, okay, pull this back. Okay, do more of this instead of go back to being who you were. Because there was no being who he was in the NBA. So for him, it's like, just go play, bro. That's true. Just go play. Just go play your game. Stop thinking. Just go hoop. We know it's there. Just go do it. So that's kind of what I think with him.
Okay. Like you said, he had 3 turnovers, and it's almost like you wish that those turnovers came off of super aggressive plays. Right. So that's kind of what we want from him. And I hope that he gets that similar feedback from the people that are trying to get him in, because he, like you said, he has potential. He's a big guy. He's a athletic 6'10". Guy. He can really do damage at the 4. It is just all about confidence. And I agree with you, with Jaden not wanting to step on toes or something. He starts off a little bit unsure. So hopefully, again, he just gets going faster in the upcoming games and just
settles in. Yeah, just need to settle in. That's all he needs. Yeah, I think he'll be fine though. Yeah. Doug, appreciate you. Super chat says, welcome, Sarah. Got a good crew, Deuce. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you, Doug. Always showing love, man. This is going to be a fun season, Doug. So stick around, man. Appreciate your support, bro. All right. Guys, we have 2 more players, and then we are going to call it a night. Man, okay, so these last 2 guys I am very excited to talk about. I've been on these guys. I actually started paying attention to these guys the same time I saw Bobi Klintman. And the first one is Daniss Jenkins, man. Daniss Jenkins. Guys, I hate to say I told you so. But you guys remember, Summer League of last year, I was like, this dude is different. He jumps off the page. He jumps off the screen. He's just a really good basketball player. Mm-hmm. He understands the game. He understands who he is. He understands how to help his teammates. And he's a leader. Yeah. Like, he has everything you want at the point guard spot. I think he's just now getting an opportunity. He didn't even go draft. He went undrafted. Mm-hmm. In the same draft that Reed Shepherd went third. And then when they squared up against each other, it's like, who's the better player? Mm-hmm. So it's just about opportunity. Tonight, he came into the game and immediately made an impact. Yes. Immediately got a steal, knocked down a 3-point from like 35 feet. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm going to say it, man. In my opinion, Daniss Jenkins should be the backup point guard for this team. Running with Caris Levert. Yeah. That's what I think. His ability to be able to run the offense with command, his ability to be able to help guys get quality shots out of the offense, the way he plays tough defense consistently is something that this team needs off the bench. He's been doing this, like I mentioned, since Summer League of last year. And I have been clamoring for him to get more opportunity because that's all that he needed. And in our last episode of the show, for you guys who were here, we had his trainer on, Jeremy Hart. Shout out Jeremy, my dog.
Coach Hart.
Coach Hart, yes. Trust your work, coach. He told me that Daniss was ready for this moment. He said they prepared for this. They put in the work. They've been overlooked over and over and over again. And he just kept telling Daniss, just stay ready. Mm-hmm. Your time's coming. Just stay ready. So he has always been prepared. That's why whenever he comes to the game, he doesn't look out of sorts. He don't look scared. He don't look deer in the headlights. He's ready to go as soon as he gets in the game. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that Coach Hart used to do is as soon as they would start working out, their first workout, they would just get shots up immediately, like cold. Yeah. Now, because in the NBA, he's not going to be starting immediately. Mm-hmm. He's going to have to come in and be able to knock down shots cold. Mm-hmm. So they worked on taking shots cold as soon as they get in the gym. So it just shows mentally the approach that they have. So shout out to Coach Hart, man. Shout out to Daniss Jenkins, man. He played his tail off tonight. It's preseason. We get it. But once again, you can just take away certain things from guys when you watch them play. Mm-hmm. And tonight, man, I can't say enough about him, man. I'm just really happy for him because of what he's had to go through to get to this point. And you saw immediately the effect and impact he can have on this team, especially that second unit. So shout out to him, man. Great game. Great game.
Yeah. Same thing. Last summer when we got him, I was watching preseason and I felt compelled. Watched him play and I felt compelled to then afterwards send him an Instagram message. And I'm not, sliding into the DMs of any of these players. I know. And I started off, I was like, you're probably not going to see this, but I just have to say, the way that you're playing is amazing. And I hope that you get more time on the Pistons. And I really, he actually responded and he said, thank you so much.
That's what's up.
I told him that he gained a fan and just like you from day one. Anytime I saw him in coming in the game, I was amped for him. I was like, here we go. This is what he deserves because I think he is almost like our little, like, what's the word? I don't know. Other teams don't know about him yet. Yeah, but other teams don't know about him yet.
Oh, best kept secret. Yeah.
Because he really can. He comes in, he takes control. His decision making has even improved since that summer league. Yeah. I remember he had an interview in one of the games preseason was it last year or maybe the year before? But he had an interview afterwards, but they were talking about this, and he just said, "I'm an NBA player, and I'm going to get into the league." And he talked, and if any of you haven't seen the video with Coach Hart and the interview with Deuce, it's Coach Hart. I left feeling like
I love that dude.
Like this guy makes me feel inspired. The fact that him and Daniss are so close, that Jenkins, he wants to keep learning from Coach Hart. That's who he wants to keep learning from. And it's obviously paying off. I give them both credit. I think that Jenkins is a phenomenal player that Coach Hart helped build. And I think that Coach Hart also deserves some recognition for Jenkins' game right now.
For sure.
Can you, what were Jenkins' stats tonight? Because
got you.
I know they were good.
Yeah. So tonight, Daniss finished with, I'm sorry if I didn't say it earlier, guys, 7 points, 3-5 shooting, 1 of 2 from 3, 0 of 1 from the free throw line, 6 assists to 1 turnover, 1 steal in 16 minutes. So that's the other thing. Like, he takes care of the bat. We talked about earlier, had like guys like Ron on the break. You kind of trust him with the basketball.
Yeah.
Daniss has that thing on a string, man.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
We saw what turning the ball over tonight will do.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the first quarter, right? We saw all those turnovers.
Yeah.
He don't do that. He is a floor general. He understands where everybody's supposed to be. He sets the table.
Mm-hmm.
He is a table setter who can also go get his own whenever he wants. He will posterize you if you're not careful. He put you in a poster quick. We saw that dunk off the backboard in the practice last year. Off Marcus Sasser through the pass, backboard, he catches a reverse 360 off. So he's got it all.
Yeah.
He's got good size, 6'3", 6'4", 4-point guard. I mean, to me, it's not hard. To me, he's the guy. I see Ethan says, does Jenkins fit our need better than Sasser? Sasser has more talent in my eyes, but fit matters too. So here's the thing. And we're not putting these guys against each other. It's just evaluation, right? As a scorer, I think Sasser is a more talented scorer. Just pound for pound scorer, can do it in multiple ways. But as a point guard, it's no question to me, it's Daniss Jenkins. Mm-hmm. And I think we have more of a need for a backup point guard. We've got a lot of combo guards. We get Cade's a point guard. We know J.I. can play point guard. Caris can play point guard. Daniss is a point guard. Mm-hmm. And that's the difference. We have, somebody mentioned earlier, we got a ton of twos and threes between, Caris and J.I. and Cade and Holland and Ausar and Chaz and then Sasser. So it's like we have a lot of guys at that spot. But point guard wise, it's like Cade. As far as true point guards, it's Cade and it's Daniss.
Yep.
And that's it. Right? Yep. So, yeah, go ahead.
I just going off of what you're saying, but the stats too, it seems low. If you just look at the stats sheet, you're like, okay, other than the assists, but he, they don't count the assists. He started to play. He reads the floor so well that, he has on the ball movement. He starts the ball movement off. And the fact that he was only one of 3 for 3, I remember that 3. It was about 2 feet off the 3-point line. Mm-hmm. Nailed it. Buzzer beater, I think.
Yep.
And that was the one also that he made himself open for Sass. He read the floor, like, I'm going to go make myself open.
Yep.
And he carries himself with such composure. I could have sworn they called the technical on him or someone else.
They did.
And then they got rid of it or something because they didn't, no one shot and no possession changed. So I don't know if the guys are just like, hey, we're just messing with each other. We don't want this. Or
okay.
But he got in their face. It reminded me of when he went off against Reed Shepherd, like you mentioned.
Yeah.
And Jenkins, again, talking with your interview with Coach Hart made me think of this, but like Reed Shepherd, that game that we played them, when he tried to take control, he missed badly. His taking control was, I'm going to shoot and I'm going to get this game back. Jenkins is taking control as, I'm going to make the best decision for our team right now.
Exactly.
He's driven it to the floor. He'll drive and then realize he's got a guy open to the side and pass it out. He'll start the ball moving at the top. He looks so comfortable. And, like 1 for 3, you're like, oh, okay, whatever. But like he can really make an impact. And while Marcus, you said it could be better offensively, I think, again, it's pretty similar. Jenkins can also light it up. He's another guy that the minute that if he gets it going, that sucks for you, other team. Because
it's a wrap.
Absolutely eat you alive. Him and Marcus both can take the shot back from 3 feet off the 3-point line. He looked very poised.
Yes.
And his defense.
That's the word.
Again, he wasn't making mistakes. He had coverage constantly moving. He really takes advantage of his minutes out there. And I think the last time we talked, I said I see Sass as our backup point guard only because also the media day, how they talked about him. But I think this is the year that Jenkins plays a little more with the Pistons than the Crews.
That's well said. The year he plays more with the Pistons than the Crews. That's the perfect way to say it. PD Max says Daniss is a true modern point guard. Mr. My City says Downtown Deuce, go ahead, preach to him, family. Daniss is he's ready. He's been ready, bro.
Yeah,
he's been ready, man, 100%. And he's got the game to show. Like the poise point that you mentioned, he's so poised. He's just always under control. My heart rate doesn't increase when he's got the ball in his hands.
Nope.
I'm very chill. I'm just like, okay, run the offense, Daniss. Like, okay, run the offense, Cade. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's what you want. Somebody who can just, because you don't need your backup point guard to extend the lead 10 points.
Yeah.
To lead a unit, right? You just want him to hold the fort down. And he can more than do that. He can more than do that. So to me, it's a perfect marriage. It just makes sense. That's the need we have. I think we're going to continue to see him do this. Like, is this enough proof? Okay, Is that enough proof? Is it like he's just going to continue to press the issue? Because that's just kind of how he's built. And last thing on him and Coach Hart, both of those guys have been overlooked. Coach Hart mentioned this in the interview. He said, I've been overlooked many times in my life, in my career. And Daniss was the same thing. That's why they work so well together.
Yes.
Because you got two guys with this huge chip out to prove something, which sounds a lot like JB Bickerstaff and the Pistons. So we have the recipe for sure. And Daniss is part of that recipe. I think he's going to make a huge impact this year for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, like you said, Coach Hart is the assistant coach for SMU, correct?
Yes. Yes, he is.
He's on his way to NBA level assistant coach. I would vouch for him and what's the word? Just forgetting my words right now.
Co-sign on him?
I would want him on our staff.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that either. Oh, coach, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Just the way that he approaches it. I like his approach for Jenkins. And his approach for Jenkins was cater to Jenkins. You know, he's not out here being like, this is how I'm going to coach you. And that's the only way. It's like, I see this in you and this is how I'm going to coach you because, and he made a great point about explaining to players why they need to do things. And that's only going to get Jenkins and anyone else that he coaches just such great basketball IQ. Right.
That's a fact. Yeah. Shout out to Coach Hart, man. Definitely putting in good work. Trust your work is the slogan. We're going to keep saying it. Trust your work. And hey, we trust y'all work because it's showing for sure. All right, guys, let's move on to the last guy tonight. My dog, man, Tolu Smith. Wow. By the way, Tolu was the guy who gave me that shout out in the beginning of the video. So shout out to Tolu, man. Always showing love. And tonight, Tolu did his thing, man. Tolu Smith tonight finished with 11 points on 4-6 shooting overall, 3-7 from the free throw line, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block, 2 fouls in 12 minutes. Double-double in 12 minutes of action. What were your thoughts on Tolu Smith tonight?
Super impressed. He gets to the rim so fast, and he can stay there. He can be at the free throw line and get there fast. What I noticed most about Tolu is his foundations. That he was boxing a guy out to like almost a 3-point line, and that's something I appreciate as someone who loves like the Larry Brown-esque style of coaching. Right. Tolu, he goes out there and plays smart. And but he just plays so well, and he is so big, He was at the basket for rebounds, he was at the basket for cleanups, getting fouled, just attacking, constant attack. Exactly. Attack. I didn't see many mistakes from him tonight either. He really just held his own, and to get a double when in 12 minutes, a double when you basically play one quarter, nasty work. Wow. And you mentioned it earlier. I was like, I like Paul Reed as our backup center. Now we got Tolu. Deep. Again, just reiterating, deep talent. So
it's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be some tough decisions, man. Because think about Tolu. Like I said earlier, I told y'all that he was coming. Tolu Smith, man, he's 6'11", so he's pretty much our only footer. Right, 7-footer on this team. That's important. We always talk about size and not having size. We could have used size in the playoffs last year. All valid points. Yeah, we could have used Tolu Smith in the playoffs last year for sure. Maybe he wasn't ready yet. He didn't understand. Maybe he still had a ways to go as far as understanding how we play and all these different things. Fine, cool. Yeah. But I think this year, come playoff time, he could be a factor.
Yeah.
If there's foul trouble, if there's size issues, he could step in and do some things. Go ahead.
You just notice him out there, and not even 7 feet. He's not a Chet Holmgren 7-footer.
Right.
He's a big guy, and he uses it smartly. He's not out here swinging. He's not standing around. He's boxing out. He's constantly on the move. He's just his presence is known, and we saw it in summer league how he just attacks, and if you know Tolu at all, you know that he's just constantly improving, looking for areas to improve. Yeah. And that's just respectful of him as well. And he's just another guy like Daniss that I hope that we get to see him more on the Pistons than the Crews this year as well, or at least more of him in general. I hope that we can have those kind of games that we can bring in that depth to get some minutes to grow.
It's funny, man, because he's so chill. Like when he's not hooping, like when he came on the show, he was just so chill, super chill. But he flips that switch, man. When he gets on the court, like he turns into a dog.
locks in complete.
Locks all the way in, man. And what I love about him is that he knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
He knows who he is as a basketball player, and he doesn't try to do anything outside of his scope. You don't see him trying to dribble the ball up the court, trying to go coast. You don't see him doing that.
Yeah.
He very much knows who he is.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned it. He was cleaning the glass, man, all over the boards, protecting the rim, finishing at the rim. Like I mentioned, he just plays to his strengths, man. He has, I noticed this too. I'm not sure if y'all peeped this, but the connection between him and Daniss Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of two-man action tonight out of that screen and roll, getting easy hoops. That's because they had those reps with the Motor City Crews. They played together. They know each other. They push each other. They both went undrafted. They have that in common. So they really kind of bonded over that. And they both had that chip. So when they were with the Crews, they both want to see each other elevate.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you saw it all night long with those two, man. So it was nice seeing the chemistry they developed. Daniss looking for him, continuously trying to find him, right? So it was just nice to see that, man. But I do think that Tolu, he was hooping tonight, man. I think he's got a chance to be impactful for this team. Like, he may be another one of those guys who will play with the Pistons more this season than the Crews.
Yeah.
So we got to wait and see. But he looked good for sure. Shout out to Tolu, man.
Yeah. And to be at the rim constantly and avoid things like 3-second violations and fouls is
good
also
point.
Huge. And I think, like you mentioned with Jenkins, I think having him on the court, knowing that he's there and he literally finishes up, gives the other guys confidence to take their shot, you know,
right.
Knowing that he's down there, you're getting a rebound if he's there. You're never seeing him advance up the court. He's going to finish the job on offense before he does anything else.
Yeah, he's got a very much an old school game, but he's got some offense too. Just because we haven't seen it yet. Like, I've seen him in some different runs in Atlanta and stuff like that. He's got a little bag too, but I like that he's not trying to showcase that bad. He's showcasing what the Pistons need most, and that is just playing big, like he is. So the discipline, we talked about it. I was telling him, like, and he agreed. It's like a lot of guys in the NBA, they can do this, but they only need you to do this. Because they've got guys who can do all the other things a little bit better than you. So the things you can do better than them that we need, just do that. Yeah. And he's like, you hit it on the head, Deuce. That's exactly what the approach is. Just focus on the things that I can do that others can't, that will get me on the court. Just earn coach's trust. So he's doing that, man. And so this team is so deep. This team is crazy deep. So that's all we got for tonight, guys. We're going to kind of wrap this up and conclude. But like we said at the top of the show, man, these games are about preparation for the regular season, right? Nothing more, nothing less. But we've said it already. I'm going to say it again. This team is full of talent, man. It is full of talent. There's so many, but there's only so many minutes to go around. That's the thing. So you mentioned it earlier, Sarah. The Pistons, they played 17 players tonight. 16 scored.
Yeah.
So it's going to be some tough decisions, but it's a good problem to have for coach, and we'll just kind of see how things play out until next game. Anything else on that?
I'm ready for next game, and I think that they are too. I have full faith in everyone but our starters. I'm just excited for these guys to get even deeper, to get these experiences.
Right.
Because they're coming in. I mean, like Tolu, Jenkins, a lot of them just looked comfortable already. And so just to grow on that, super excited for it. We're looking good. We didn't even get to see JD tonight, which is crazy.
Right.
We still got him, and I'm just looking forward to the next games coming up. And then, of course, the season, I think we'll be plenty prepared. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I kind of want to get to the regular season now, but I know we need these games. I know we need these games, right? So I'm just trying to enjoy the preseason. We complain about Pistons basketball, and it's here, so I can't complain, right? So so we'll leave it there. So, guys, up next for the Pistons are the Milwaukee Bucks. In Milwaukee, another road game. I think they only have one home game. That's the last game of the preseason against the Wizards. But next game is Thursday, October 9th at 8 p.m. And we are going to be back here, guys, post-game to break that all down as well. We appreciate all the comments here tonight. Organic, I see you here. Says, welcome again, Sarah. Ethan says, great show. Sarah is fun to listen to. I told y'all, man. Told y'all she was going to be a welcome addition, man. Yeah. And I look forward to getting to know all you listeners too and watchers, because I know you guys have great takes. We have just the best fans. We're all pretty much on the same wavelength usually. Sometimes there's a crazy take thrown out, but
of course.
I'll take it, so I'm very excited for this. So thank you very much for everyone.
Absolutely, man. Dominic says Beasley and Duncan on the court together. I need that. You never know, bro. Hey, you never know, man. It's a long season, long time between now and the end of the year. So hopefully we'll wait and see on that one. But yeah, I appreciate you as always, guys. Ryan says great job. Absolutely, yeah. Appreciate you guys, man. So we are going to end it there, guys. Talk to us in the comments. Let us know what your takeaways were from this game, and then let's keep this conversation going. But we appreciate you guys, and y'all know the drill, man. Detroit versus everybody. Peace.
And when you knock me down, I'm getting back up. Cause when I step on the floor, you know your time's up. I'm on my way up and I'm not gonna stop. We headed straight to the top in the know. I gotta face it, I got no time to wait.